Hello, and good morning, and happy Thanksgiving to anybody out there that's celebrating. Whether you are meeting with family or you're having an intimate dinner or lunch, I'm wishing you a good Thanksgiving, and share with us what's in your mug and what are you thankful for today. And good morning, Stig from Kelly. How are you doing?
I'm not from Cali.
I know. I said from Kelly, from my Kelly. We know where you're from.
Yes, I'm well.
Uh-huh. Nice. And I know
Thursday.
that it's
I'm well this Thursday in Norway.
Okay. Yeah, and you guys really don't celebrate. This is a United States holiday, this Thanksgiving. But despite that, what are you thankful for?
Nothing.
Nothing, huh?
No, I'm just full of hatred.
Well, you're thankful for being able to hate.
Hey, I made a top 5 Thanksgiving video.
Okay.
I've already done the thank you thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it had an Amish mechanic in it. Come on.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, so then you guys go check that out. So let's go ahead. I already have a super chat, and it's from Matt G. And Matt G says, "It's so good to see you. You have returned. We love you." Thank you so much, Matt G, for the $2 super chat. And everybody's popping in now. So we're getting, everybody trickling in, and thank you. I know it's a holiday and everybody's probably, cooking or prepping for food or tasting food or watching TV and having coffee or whatever it is for you today. An orange hat review, funny story. A hunter friend of mine showed me a video of this morning. He hunted for his Thanksgiving turkey. The video showed like 12 turkeys out front of his house this morning. Happy Thanksgiving, folks. Nice.
Were they 12 dead ones or live ones?
Yeah, right? So like how many were dead and how many were live?
It sounds like there might have been foul play.
There you go. Foul play. There you go. And then Terminus, thank you and good morning. And again, everybody, what's your choice of beverage this morning? And then Caffeinated Wolf, cheers of caffeine to all. Yes, I have my drink here. I'm almost done with it. I might have to have Stig entertain you guys while I make another cup. Matthew, hello and good morning. Hell from Istanbul, guys. Hey, thank you for dropping in. I was
which is ironic since that's in Turkey.
Right.
He's in Turkey on Thanksgiving. That means he's actually stuffed. Just like Wedge.
Goodness gracious. All right. So I don't know how to approach that one now. Okay. Kitty Bear. Hello. Alone and drinking energy drink. And thankfully for Stig's hatred. All right. Okay. Soul Assassin. Hola, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. And then Caffeinated. I could just gobble up Stig's puns. Laugh out loud. There you go.
Yeah. Woo! They're that solid, right?
That was great. And let's see here. Hopefully I have a guest come in today. Matt Wilkins, he was invited, and I know that they're preparing to have Thanksgiving with family as well, so but it's still early, so hopefully he comes in. Class Born, happy Thanksgiving and enjoy the coffee. Thank you so much. So today, I was telling Stig today, I'm just going to be prepping food, making the pies and desserts and what have you. And then tomorrow, my family, we are celebrating Thanksgiving with a birthday and all that. So we're doing, it off from today. So that tomorrow will be our time of celebrating together.
So for those of us that are foreigners, Thanksgiving is about celebrating the natives giving turkey to the pilgrims, right?
Yeah, it's about them at the time showing them how to harvest and how to hunt and live off the land, and they and this time of year, basically, it would be harvests, and so they would share the harvest with them and stuff. And there's two Thanksgivings people reference to, and you'll hear the anti-Thanksgiving reference, the one where there's a fight, a battle, what have you. But the very first one was about helping the settlers that came in survive in the new country or on our land. And so for me as a Native American, I choose not to protest or I choose to celebrate, but celebrate in a way of family gathering together, being thankful for the harvest, the year, and another way of everybody gathering and feeding each other. That's why I celebrate. So yeah, so that's a meaning. If anybody wants to take away Thanksgiving, I would say should be for like unity, especially now in 2020. We do need that unity. We need it. So this is a chance to have unity.
Kind of a little bit, Christmas.
Yeah.
In Norway, it used to be Yuletide, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually still called that in Norway. It's spelled Jul. That's Christmas in Norway.
Okay.
But in order for us to have Christmas, piles of us got killed by Christians, right?
Yeah.
Just forcefully converted.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit the same. I guess it has a downside to it too, if you look at history.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everything has a good and bad side to it and stuff. And me, as someone that's always striving to look at the positive in things, I just want to focus on that. Even with this sort of holiday, I do have like I don't know about family, but I do have friends that are like not celebrating.
Yeah, I just look at the negative.
Yes. So positive, negative, or that negative. Oh, there we go. I'm facing a different direction now.
Together, we're neutral and mediocre.
Yeah. So Matthew, he says, my parents in South Dakota are so scared of the beer bug, they won't leave the house. Yeah, there are some people that are like that. And I just say, don't live in fear. Still go out there and celebrate together, like gather anyways. And, we never know when we're going to die. And yes, I'm going to put that out there. And this is the time of year we haven't been able to gather with families for how many months now? If you haven't, this is a good time to, get together, be thankful that you're still here with your family, eat together and celebrate. So do it. Like I said, use this as a positive unity type of event now where we give thanks and gratitude for, anything good that may have happened this year for you and your family. So try to find that positive. Terminus, I thought Swedes were neutral and mediocre.
No, that was just your mom talking about your penis, Terminus.
Oh, did we have to go that way on Thanksgiving? Stig.
On Thanksgiving in Norway, I could do what I want.
Oh my God, but don't be pulling out the parent or the mama jokes like that. Oh my God. All right, what's your favorite holiday? The Penguin. Hey. My favorite holiday is my birthday. No, I'm joking. I don't know. I think maybe like Christmas where you get to come together and I get to help. I get to give gifts and celebrate with family and stuff. And the lights, the lights are beautiful. So let's see here. Class born. Someone needs coffee. Stig does. Stig, do you have your caffeine? Do you have your cola?
Yeah, I have a cola.
Okay. All right. So with gratitude, I just want to, share my gratitude because we're going to get into some Legends comics right here pretty soon. I want to share my gratitude for, George Lucas and him and his company, building such a great franchise, a great lore that we all got into most likely from the movies and continued to, expand our knowledge and read about the lore through the EU, whether it be the comics, the novels, the games, or what have you. So my gratitude is about that, about the beautiful 25,000 years of history that was created by his franchise, him and his franchise. And he did have, help in even creating the EU. The company brought in New York Times bestselling authors, and with their brilliance and understanding Star Wars, and with his guidance, we've got what we got. And that's even with the comics and stuff. And that's what I'm thankful for, is being able to be here with you guys and able to review these comics. And every time I hear some, God crazy news about the direction the lore is being taken in Star Wars, with the Disney canon, I'm always thankful to grab one of the books or the comics or whatever, and clear my mind with that. So that's my gratitude. That's my gratitude for today, for everybody here. And my gratitude is also for everybody that's popping in. All 13 of you guys, please press that like button and share this on Twitter, get people in. But I am thankful for every single one of you guys that are here with us this morning for coffee chat right now. Again, my channel's only doing lives until I'm done with school. And but I'm thankful for you guys for keeping this channel going and supporting and loving Star Wars. So that's not trying to get mushy or anything, but that's what I'm thankful for. And Stig, dig deep down inside and share what you're thankful for when it comes to Star Wars.
Oh, it's good that they're releasing those comic omnibuses.
Yeah.
Oh, Romanian fellow is sharing lore about Yggdrasil, the Tree of Life.
Let's see here. Which one? Who?
There. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. I thought so. All right. For Stig, how'd you say it? Yggdrasil?
Yggdrasil.
Okay. Tree is pronounced similar with I don't know how to say that either. I'm not gonna try to butcher it. I don't want to.
Jugastro.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Let's go through this before we get started here. I don't celebrate any holidays because if I would be partying probably the whole time. Let's see here. And hello, Miss Martin Muse. How are you doing?
Slapping a rose.
She's slapping a rose, huh? I just woke up grabbing coffee. Stig will likely disapprove of.
Oh yeah, it's probably one of those, it has a shovel of ginger and a Snickers bar in it and some fruit.
Like, that sounds awful, but I'm pretty sure she's not having that.
Like 3% coffee and
you don't even know what you're talking about.
97% diabetes.
You don't even know what you're talking about when it comes to flavored coffee.
Coffee should be black.
No, maybe for you. Okay. All right. Thank you. To OG. All right. Terminus Stig, you took me out of context. I meant to say I thought Swedes were neutral and more not Norwegians.
I'll accept that, Terminus, but you're still on my list for today. So watch it.
Andre, hello. I'm thankful for the Mandalorian series as for Star Wars. Okay, I'm glad you like that. I'm happy that you like something in the new canon. Sad to say, everything's linking up to the sequel trilogy. It is.
Yeah. I just want to see all of it put inside a cannon and fired at a wall.
Yeah. All right. A 99 super sticker. It's a rose from Miss Martin Muses. Thank you.
So she rose for the occasion.
Yeah.
To the occasion, actually.
Yeah, she rose to the occasion. Let's see here. Whoopsie. Let's not leave the screen. That's not good. All right. Let's see here. And then let's see here. It's to me, or is it me, or already everybody is drunk and needs coffee? I'm perfectly fine today. I
haven't had I haven't had alcohol in over 2 years, actually.
Yeah. Wow. Good for you.
Yeah. I just got fed up with it.
You got fed up, huh?
Yeah.
I have to prep cook today, so I won't be doing anything. Let's see here. Yeah. So go ahead and get a couple of the chats there and read them, Steeg.
Okay. Kitty Bear NPC says, I'm still sleepy. I woke up 30 minutes ago. And then there's a smile with an open mouth.
Oh.
Happy Blobfish Production says, hi everyone, just stopping by to say, hey, happy Thanksgiving. Hope you all are having a safe day. Sincerely, Gabe. Well, thank you, Gabe. I hope you're well too.
Yeah.
Ms. Morton Muses says something fucked up. It came up caramel cream coffee. Thank you for saying that. Andre says he just woke up too. Kitty Bear says Stieg meant he wants to see KK in the cannon and fired at a wall. Not quite so. I want to see her tied up on a wall and the cannon being fired at her.
Oh, that's kind of graphic right there. Yikes.
No.
I don't think she's leaving. I don't think she is.
No.
And she's not. You know, she's a well-known director, a well-known producer, you know, in the past has been on major movies and stuff. And because of that, I don't think that Disney would want it wouldn't be well for Disney with that kind of look to get rid of her.
And, you know, she's the perfect face for Disney because given all that Botox, she can lie with a straight face.
Goodness gracious. All right, let's see here. When is Matt going to show up? You know, he's invited. I know he did a couple of videos this morning, so go watch them. I know that he is also saying they were going to get ready to go to his family's tonight. So, but he also told me he was going to be free today. So he sent the link, and you know, hopefully he comes in. Once he does, then you know, we'll have him on. He's always welcome on. So he just needs to check his email. So Matt, if you're listening, check your email. It's from Stieg. All right, let's see here. Yeah, The Mandalorian is going sequel trilogy. Dang it. I knew it. They all connected. They connected it to Aftermath. They screwed up some of the lore from there, but they still connected to it, which means they're going to connect to everything else inside the lore. It's got, you know, so.
They even have an Imperial invasion of Tatooine on the show mentioned, even though it's nowhere in their own lore.
Yeah.
Kind of a biggie.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know.
No, Matthew. I don't want lutefisk. No. Thank you for the offer, though, but I've had it, and I don't want to have it again.
You're like, I'm done with it. No, thank you. All right. Cavatino Che had to take a break from Loki's Discovery review and saw that you were on. Thank you for dropping in. Thank you so much. I'm thankful for Disney bringing us together, craving for more I Choose Legends. Yes, exactly. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and put a banner up real quick. Haven't done a banner in a while. So Bruce Banner. Happy Turkey Day. There we go. Save, and let's go ahead and do it. There we go. Awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. I'll read the last few here, and we'll get into the comics here. Looking gorgeous this morning. Thank you so much. Thank you. I woke up this way. No. There we go. Hi, Miss Martin Muses. Miss Martin, did you get... Okay, yeah, you got it. All right, so we'll have another guest come in here pretty quick. I really hope not. They should avoid these sequels.
Oh, it's too late.
No, they already did. I'm sorry. It was apparent the last couple of
when they marketed the show, they also said it would have nothing to do with the movies or the Jedi or the Force. That's what they said when they announced it.
Yeah.
Didn't happen because Filoni happened and put Ahsoka in it.
Mm-hmm. It says Razvin said Kyle Katarn is the universal donor by now for Rogue One, Rebels, and Mando.
Yep.
And I shared an interesting fact yesterday about Kyle Katarn and Jan Ors were did a mission to fight the Peace Brigade that have been hunting Jedi in the New Jedi Order. And so, that's in a comic. And I suggest if you don't have that comic, I would, look into it. So, and what's so crazy is that they didn't continue that story arc, but Kyle Katarn and Jan Ors were talking marriage, which makes sense that they did. So, yeah, let's see here. All right. And so again, the comics that we're going to review is the Jedi Schism Mace Windu one, and then the Blast Radius. So there's two of them. They're both long stories. I think Mace is a little bit longer than the other one.
Amazingly so.
Yeah. And so they're wonderful stories, in the Clone War era of Star Wars. So we'll get into that. And let's see here. Stig, my favorite Norwegian man. There you go.
Thank you. My favorite person named Becky.
Yeah.
Hope you're well today.
Yes. Thank you for coming in. All right. Let's see here. OG, do you think that's Snoke? It's hard to say. It looks kind of deformed. The music score is nearly exactly the same. However,
if it's Snoke, it's a plot hole. Because they stated in the sequels that he was made on Exegol.
Yes, that's what I was going to get into. But they are known to change things like that. Like they did change Leia's arc, from total refusal of being trained to having some training and then training Rey. They even changed that Cobb's arc from Aftermath too as well. So we shall see. But they're changing an arc. They're changing a retcon or something, because even in the ST, they even say that they don't do any clone troopers, that they kidnap babies and, train them and, brainwash them to be their troopers. So why would this be any type of clone type of troopers when they don't do it? So either or, we'll see. Or it could be the beginning of experimenting with, different bodies for Palpatine as well. But we shall see. Who knows?
It would still have to happen on Exegol.
Exactly. And so who knows? All right, I'm going to go ahead and get through these and then we'll start. So OG Star Wars and my friends, Mary Mayham is the whole reason I changed my channel to entertainment stuff. It is so much more fun. Thank you for that. Oh, you're welcome. That's awesome. That's great. You guys go check out his channel. Go check out their channel. Love to support everybody that comes in and supports me. You guys are all amazing, and I'm so thankful for every single one of you. All right, so let's get into these comics here. Let me go ahead and close this one out. I'm going to shut my camera off for now. Let's see. So I love this. I had to download everything and get everything resituated on my computer after my laptop, had a little crash going on. So we could see 2 pages instead of 1 is one of the options with this new comic format I have. All right. So this is Jedi, Star Wars Jedi, Mace Windu, and it's also called Schism. And so there's a reason why they call that. So we begin with them having a funeral pyre.
Yeah, much like we see in episode 1 for Mylon.
Yeah. So they're having a funeral pyre. And who was the funeral for again?
Some Jedi that had just passed away. He's not. I don't think he was shown in the comics.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, it's just someone. I think he passed away during on an exposition during a fight or a battle or whatever for the Clone Wars. And we do have. Hello, darling.
Hello. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, I just woke up and I'm sipping my coffee and it's just perfectly splendid.
Yeah. Are you cooking today?
Oh, heck no. Actually, nobody's cooking. I totally cheated last night. I'm supposed to bring some sides. So last night I ordered a bunch of sides from Uber Eats and had delivered to my door and put it in the fridge.
Side? What's a side?
Oh, it's something besides the main dish. So, for example, sweet
side
potatoes.
dishes.
Yeah, side dishes.
Oh.
Sweet potatoes. I got sweet potatoes, plantains, and asparagus. I love asparagus.
Yeah. Nice.
So you're the person in the world that actually likes asparagus.
My family loves asparagus too.
Oh, it is so good, and it's good for you.
Yes, it is.
No, it's very healthy.
That's why you don't like it.
It's a thing, though. The more healthy it is, the more shit it tastes.
We like Brussels sprouts too. My family's crazy weird about the vegetable thing. They like all the things that everybody doesn't like.
I do like broccoli and cauliflower.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's healthy.
And I eat all my peas.
Nice.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, when I have pizza, I have that kind of pizza where the crust is made from cauliflower powder.
Oh, that's so good. I love that.
That's so wrong.
Well, you are ganged up on this decision, sir.
Yeah, actually, I despise Brussels sprouts. Though I do. I hate them with a passion.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
my family loves it, but we love cabbage and all that too. So
yeah, well, I like cabbage. Okay. I like asparagus. I just despise. I don't know. I have a weird thing.
So we have right here. Where'd it go? Oh, it jumped on me. We have caffeinated wolf, but why? So either that's for the asparagus or the Brussels sprouts or one of those vegetables. I'm guessing. All right. I'll be prepping today and we're celebrating tomorrow. So I'll be doing all the desserts. I'll be making the pies, lemon meringue. I think we're going to do a pecan pie, chocolate cream pie, and maybe a fruit pie. I haven't decided yet.
I'll be sitting in a dark room eating a very dry sandwich while watching Seinfeld and stabbing myself with a pencil.
Oh, please don't do that, darling.
Aww. Do everything except the stabbing yourself with a pencil.
Yeah, don't stab yourself with a pencil.
Okay, I'll use a fork.
We have a lot of that, but we have sweet potato pie.
Oh yeah. My daughter, she wants to do little miniature, like little sweet potato pies that you put in the tin. You do like the little puff pastry, and then you put the sweet potato mixture in there and cook it like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna probably do that. That's what she wants to do. So that's her own thing.
Well, there you go. And that's what's kind of so fun about it all is you do what you want to do, because tradition be damned, except for everything they tell us not to do. Anything a governor said, well, except for the drinking alcohol part. Yeah, I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm still doing it. I'm going to sing really loudly. I am going to open up my lungs and I'm going to sing O mio babino caro.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm going to sing an opera aria. What do you think of that, you governors who don't want us to sing?
Okay, so we're going off track here, but that's
sorry.
Okay. We have a show, and the Caffeinated Wolf goes, someone needs to educate you all in real pies. Okay, so what's your choice of pies? When I was growing up, when I was little, my grandmother raised me, and every Thanksgiving she would cook a huge meal because we'd have everyone over. She would do like 20-30 pies. And she maybe do like 2 or 3 of like the popular ones so that family could take them home with them. But she would have like assortments of several different fruit pies, several different type of pudding pies, pumpkin pies. She would do handmade. She would even do her crust handmade, and all of that. And she, and I could never ever probably meet her and her standards of her cooking her pies. And but I could try, I could try. So, so I grew up with a multiple of, homemade style pies. There you go. Apple, cherry, peach, and pumpkin. Usually I would have an apple or a cherry. Peach sometimes. So, and I love coconut cream pie.
Coconut cream.
Yes. I mean, we're all getting hungry here.
Banana cream pie. That's a good one. Yeah.
Banana pudding.
Ooh.
We don't really have that stuff in Norway.
Poor Stig. You just need to come to one of our houses.
Pie. Well, we do have, shepherd's pie and stuff like that. That's, an English dish. But yeah, no, pie's not a big deal.
Yeah. All right. So since I put a question in the chat, and we'll get into the book or into the comic.
I know the answer to that one.
What is that?
3.14.
No, I'm not talking about the scientific pie here. I'm talking about edible.
Well, I'll tell you, pudding pie. I'll tell you what.
How pious of me.
What happened?
Must have pie.
All right, so everybody's chat and share what is your must-have pie, and we'll get into these comics. And so I know, Teresa, that you are, you have, read or of these, and so you can follow along, give your, talk about it too, so we can have that fun little banter going back and forth and stuff. So
okay,
all right. So again, as we were saying, they're having a funeral pyre for a Jedi that lost their lives, probably during a Clone War expedition type thing. And
zoom in a little bit. We can't read the letters.
I know. Let me figure this one out. Where is the full? Let me do the full screen. Is that okay on the full screen?
No, it's just the same.
Okay, let me see.
I think you just right-click the page or something and.
Oh,
no.
I have a magnifying glass. Do you see it? No, you don't, huh?
Hang on. I can fix this. Give me 2 seconds.
Whoopsie.
There you go. Just putting on my monocle should work.
All right.
Oh my! Wow.
Yeah, so they are talking here about the Clone Wars, them going in and being generals and stuff here, I believe, and how they're losing. They refuse to serve at. There's a schism going on. There's some Jedi that left because they refuse to serve as generals. That they think that they're going about this the wrong way, and so this sets up the the doubtful banter that we see even in Return of the Jedi and stuff like that about are they really doing what they're supposed to be doing as Jedi?
Yeah.
So.
And we're going to get introduced to a lot of really cool Jedi. That will happen to be involved quite a bit in the later comics.
Yeah. Yeah.
A couple of them actually even survive into the dark times.
Yeah, it's so good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and change the page. So we get to view 2 pages instead of 1. So I really like this. And and they also talk about Vapad.
The fighting style that takes you close to the dark side.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, so that's introduced here as well. And they talk about who Mace helped train with on Vapad as well. And we see he talks to Quinlan because Quinlan is still going through his bits of darkness, bits of doubt and stuff like that, and that he has also been a spy. So basically he's like a sentinel. So he's a spy. He's not choosing to be a general right now because he has another mission going on. But he hasn't had any lightsaber training. And so Mace Windu is, okay, come on, let's fight. Let's duel. So you can have some practice. And so that's what they're doing here. So I thought that was really interesting right here. And he's noticing a style that Mace came up with. And he's like, how did you learn that? How did you learn this style? And then they go through the fight even more, and he harnesses the Vapad, and stuff. And Mace is like, basically, you shouldn't be doing this because you're still teetering on that dark side. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. And Windu beats his ass.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. Down here, I have to learn how to scroll into these images without losing the pages on here. The other one was so much easier because it had the scroll option to scroll in. So I probably won't be able to do it right now. I'll play around with it a little bit more and get used to this new comic feature. So yeah.
I want to give credit and honorable mention to the sounds. We got clop, whir, cracker, and foop.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Cow.
Shut up or I'll foomp you.
Foomp.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he force pushes him down. Look at that. That's that foomp.
Yeah. You don't want to be foomped.
Yeah, don't be foomped. So
Unless
if you hear me say that,
consenting adults.
and I also like how he has his hand out for the force push, and so you have that little bit of energy that goes around his hands to show that that's what's going on.
Yeah, and he in Revenge of the Sith, he loses that energy, literally.
Yeah,
because that hand's not there anymore.
Yeah, it just goes down out the window, right? Literally out the window.
Yeah, he had to use a hands-off approach.
Goodness. All right, so we get into the discussion here about like a word you learned this Vapad, like who'd you learn this from? Because he's like, I did something wrong, and he's like, you use Vapad. It's he tells him it's very aggressive, that he shouldn't be going there right now, and with his state of the type of attitude he's in right now. And Quinlan then apologizes.
Yeah, and he explains he learned it from Jedi Master Shora Bulk. Was that it?
Yeah, Bulk. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And so, he's like, I'm sorry, Master, I'll never do that again, kind of deal. And, you see, like, you look at Quinlan in these comics right now, and you can see he's got a lot of doubts. He's, I wouldn't say self-absorbed, but he's going inwards, and not in a good way. And he has a lot of this, what do you call it? A lot of, this, I guess you could say, doubt and fear or whatever's going on in his mind here. So
yeah, he's actually a very well-developed character with a solid arc.
Yeah.
Who then got turned into Surfer Dude on the Clone Wars.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that I think I've mentioned before that when I read these when each of the little comics would come out, and then there'd be a few weeks between, and you'd get there on Wednesday because you couldn't wait to see the next one. And so I really did follow along this journey along with Quinlan Voss. It was so much fun, and like what Stig says, and then when that is ignored, it kind of stings a little bit, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and I actually remember a lot of Star Wars fans going, "Oh, awesome! Quinlan Voss is going to be on the next Star Wars episode, Clone Wars episode." And then after it had aired, people were like, "What was this?"
Yeah. It was like a total like turnaround of attitude and demeanor, because you see him right here, and he's got a lot of like inward focus and doubt and all this, and he's a spy, but he also probably doesn't agree with what's going on in the Clone Wars at all either. We see a lot of this going on right now with a lot of like even the masters and stuff too, and they discuss it. They discuss the schism. And so Yoda is like, you need to go talk to these Jedi, because there was a meeting set up with the Jedi that are, separated from the order because they don't agree with the direction that it's been taken for the Clone Wars and them being generals. And so, they don't want the split or the schism in the order. So, Yoda sends Mace Windu off to go talk with these Jedi. So.
Yeah, and Quinlan and Thulm buggers off as well.
Yeah.
And then we have the babe with no hair.
The babe with no hair. There we go. And she comes up, and dun dun dun. We have Asajj Ventress here, and she is fighting some kind of tentacle looking lizard
that goes shrawl.
Yeah, thank you. See, okay, you're hired to do all the sound effects.
You're welcome. The lady with the voice. Always take the soprano.
There we go.
Yeah, this is very artsy, because the tentacle monsters represent the male sexual organ, and she's slicing it in half and all that, telling the viewer that nobody gets to sleep with her.
Well, thank you so much, Stig.
Well, as the male representative, would you want to sleep with her?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
5 times a day.
You're a busy guy.
Wow. Well, I'm just wondering because I mean, to me, she does not look very attractive. Just saying.
Oh, Stig.
She got it where it counts.
Okay.
Well, wow, look at those eyes. You see, this is so well done, the way this is put together. I mean, see, that creeps me out. I don't want that face looking at me.
She wouldn't be facing me.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
All right, back to the comics. Lucky this is like not rated for young kids. My channel's not rated for young kids. Okay, so thank God. Thank God. So all right. So we have her. She's being her and her master Dooku is talking about the same meeting that Mace is going to. And they have an interesting concept here. And she and Dooku are saying that these Jedi, like Mace and them, are not true Jedi or something like that. I forget the verbiage, and we'll get to it a little bit more. And they want to go ahead and meet with these other Jedi as well, because they want to recruit in a sense. But they also want to destroy some of the masters as well.
And from the previous comics, Ventress has been shown to be extremely competent and dangerous.
She is.
She's killed like 3 or 4 Jedi already, I think.
Yeah.
She's a formidable force.
She sure is. She sure is. Her and her skirt and everything too. She just knows how to rock it all.
Yeah, it's a really bold move.
All right, let's move on here. So again, these are kind of long, so we'll probably skip, briefly talk about each scene, and the really important ones we'll kind of linger on a little bit. So we Mace Windu gets to the planet here. And did you catch the planet? I didn't write it down, and I didn't review this last night. So, but I did read the whole comics, both of the comics that were, of course, I wouldn't be doing this. But
I think they're on the moon or something.
Yeah.
And there's Master Shora Bulk. Looks like his face is melted.
Mm-hmm.
And Master Rook, I think, is the...
Yeah, that's Rook right there coming out of the water, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so, Mace gets to the moon there and stuff. And what's interesting, and we'll find out, soon, is about how they have to get permission to land on the moon. So this is setting up for another scene, and I won't say exactly what's going on just yet. But so we have him meeting up with the masters, and I think we do have one Padawan in this bunch too as well, I believe. And so everybody's
there's a Padawan and some knights and yeah, there's a bunch of people.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's move on. Let's move along. All right. Did I skip too forward, or what happened?
Okay, no, it's Master Rook is basically talking about his experiences in the Clone Wars, and then you have one of my favorites, Jizel, Jaisal, or however you pronounce it.
Yes, go ahead and talk about her then, Stig, since she's your favorite.
Well, she's not in it that much. She's very much a background character, but she kicks royal ass.
Yep.
And am I allowed to spoil something?
I'll say to your caution. So if you really want to, go ahead.
Okay. She survives into the dark times.
Okay.
And sacrifices herself while the clones are trying to... She's evacuating a bunch of Force-sensitive kids, I believe.
Okay.
And they start getting overwhelmed by clones, and she gets close to the clones and uses the Force to activate one of their thermal detonators.
Nice. Oh, I can't wait till we get there.
She goes down like a boss.
Nice. Like she should, right? She's also Deveronian, right? Is she the Deveronian, or is it the other one?
No, I'm thinking she's the same race as Luminara.
Okay.
I don't know.
I know one of the ladies...
I'll look it up while you two talk.
Okay, because I know one of the ladies is a Deveronian in here. Yeah. So I wasn't sure if it was her or the other one. So I know that they look different than the males.
Yeah.
So,
well, she's wearing black leather, so I'm sure.
They're not as horny as the males.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes,
Oh.
she's a female Deveronian Jedi Master.
Yeah.
Wow, that's badass.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So if anybody wants to cosplay, something very different, and make light or share a character that many people don't know about, here is an awesome cosplayer opportunity right here.
Yep.
So
I would get a tank top and a grenade.
And a grenade.
Well, hey, it would work. You see, my only problem is I don't like to wear high-necked stuff like that.
Yeah. And so on this scene here, and I'm going to go ahead and go to the next pages, but she basically comes and greets, but she's also told to clear the path to where they have his sleeping quarters and stuff. And, and then he was like, why are you greeting me with this lightsaber, kind of deal. So there's that little bit of a standoffish kind of thing in a sense. So they're very wary about Mace and his intentions. So
I would be too.
Yeah, and then look how beautiful these plants with their glowing, glowing type flower type things. I wouldn't know exactly what to call them, and their type of dragonflies and stuff. I think it's really, really nice. Just commenting on the art in this as well, and so more Jedi masters and stuff are coming to greet Mace Windu. So,
yeah, well, these two are apprentices, I think.
Yeah.
The pale lady and the Anakin wannabe.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, he kind of looks like he's got that loathing type attitude like Anakin does.
Yeah, and the artwork in this comic is amazing.
It is. And so, they're talking about the separation, the schism, and how they don't agree with the direction the Jedi are going with the Clone Wars, and that's why they're leaving. And it gets kind of heated, and so then they're like, well, let's call it a night. Let's get some rest because we're not going anywhere. And Bulk is the one that says, I haven't had my mind made up yet on returning back to the Order or what I want to do. And that's what Mace is trying to do, is trying to reconnect with these Jedi to either have them come back or see exactly where they stand so they can support them without them going to the dark side. So they all, part, to rest, to sleep. Here. And then let's see here where we at. We have something going on here. So all of a sudden we have, is this an AT-AT right here?
Let me see.
Up in the corner.
Either that or it's a little one. It's like the little chicken leg one.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting right here. But we do have them chatting about, Mace and not trusting him and stuff. And then all of a sudden, Asajj comes in and attacks.
Yeah. She attacks Shora Bulk.
Mm-hmm. And then through this, she's fighting. And what I found interesting is that what she says about serving, like she's servant of Mace's within this little fight here, this confrontation. So I am your humble servant, Mace Windu. And so it feeds into their doubt about Mace anyways, because they're still doubting why he's there. They think that he's going to hurt them, like he's going to attack them or whatever. And so she comes in and basically sets Mace up.
Yeah, and she killed one of them right off the bat, the pale one.
Yeah.
And
first to go. That's right.
Yeah, she's already seconds. She was dead.
That's right. Kind of skipped over that, but yeah, she was the first to go. And then so she says, "I am humbled. You're a humbled service, Mace Windu. I trust your pleas." And he's like, "Pleased?" Like he's like, "What the hell's going on?" Because he comes in the middle of the attack. And he's, what the hell's going on here and stuff. And so she feeds into their fear about Mace Windu, which is
she's basically trying to tell the others she's working with him.
Exactly. There we go. And Teresa, did you wanted to say something? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying that I think she's bad. And the way she's like a vampire, like you were saying, like feeding off the fear like a vampire. And she kind of looks like a vampire.
Yeah.
Like that one, I can never pronounce that version with
Nosferatu?
Oh, there.
He just like says it out clear and simple, and you're like, nos.
Wow. Impressive. Most impressive. I hate to feed your ego, but that was very impressive.
I need to get that up in my brand with Vader saying impressive, most impressive, or something like that. So I can play that every time. So yeah.
Yes.
All right. So let's move on here since we have some long comics to review, which I have no problem with. I love doing this. So Stig, why don't you go ahead and talk about these 2 pages here?
Well, I still can't read it, but I'm gonna guess from memory. The emo apprentice dude runs off, pissed off at Mace, and Mace is he's gone off and he finds Ventress's ship.
Yeah,
and like we've told before, they need permission to land on this place.
Mm-hmm.
So something's off.
Yeah, exactly.
Suspiciosis.
Mm-hmm. And so we get to the part here, and there's the battle's still going on, and Mace is trying to, he's piecing everything together. He finds out, that this is her ship. Yeah, it is, because it looks like the pearl inside the clam. So it's true Doku type style ship, who she is apprenticed to. And so he's piecing things together, like Stig said, and figuring out how in the hell she got here. So
and then she basically ambushes the emo Padawan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what I got too, is that he reminded me of an Anakin type, like brooding type of Padawan here.
Yeah. Incompetent Anakin, that's what we're gonna call him.
Incompetent.
Oh no.
And then so it's still ensuing here, and she's egging him on. She's saying your rage, call on it, focus it, use it. I am not your enemy. Join me. So she's using his rage to recruit him, to seduce him. And then
and he's starting to it's starting to work.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And he's like, you could see in the bottom there. And again, I'll learn how to scroll through this. I wish that it had a scrolling mechanism without me probably end up screwing something up. So I'm not going to try today. We already had mishaps the last couple of coffee chats. I just don't want to have one today, or try not to have one today. So let's try to make it through without any mishaps. I do see new people coming in. Jane Theory, hello. You didn't miss it. Thank you for coming in, lovely. Thank you for the support.
She stayed on target.
Yes, she did.
Stayed on target.
Yes. And so we have Mace finally, Bulk, it goes off on his own with the slain Jedi. And then Mace goes to him, and, he checks on, and he's like, I found the person she was working with. And he goes, you. So he basically confronts Bulk on this.
Well, he gets the bulk of the criticism.
Yeah. He gets to the bulk of the problem.
Yes.
There we go. There you go. And so then lightsabers are ignited, because he realizes, yes, I have been talking with Doku. So Doku had planted Asajj in there, and it's all part of the plan on getting the Jedi, to fail, to get to certain masters, to kill him. I mean, there's a lot going on in the Clone Wars, especially with Doku and even with Palpatine, that, will be uncovered in these comics and stuff. So it's very interesting. So you want to add?
And Mr. Bulk is going to be quite important as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then, Bulk is the one that Mace has trained with Vapad. So he knows Vapad inside and out, just like Mace does.
Yeah.
And again, that's who Voss trained with as well. So that's why Voss knows Vapad. And so they begin their duel and stuff, and they, both no vape pad and stuff like that. And then we have some of the Jedi coming in because they're not truly understanding what's going on. They're very confused because Bulk was even misleading the other Jedi and apprentices that were with him in this isolation.
Yeah, he was basically, basically they were almost doing the same job. Windu was there to get them to join the Republic side of the war, and Bulk was there to get them to join the Separatists.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a duel of fates.
There you go.
Dun, dun. Da, da, da.
Actually, you should be listening to that music while reading this comic.
That would be fun. There you go. So there's a recommendation, you guys. If you really want to get into this, get the soundtrack and play Duel of Fates. Exactly. I would play it if I don't feel like being, either shut down here on the stream.
Yeah, I was gonna say I better shut up because sometimes they even pick up singing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so it's crazy. It is. It's nuts. I wish it wasn't that way because if anything, I'd be demonetized, which is I don't, that part. It's like whatever, it is what it is. I just want to share the love of Star Wars. So please just give me some slack here, Disney.
Yeah, come on, Disney. We want to give you money, you jerks.
We're promoting the legends part of the lore here. Okay.
Yeah, we're promoting the great Star Wars you couldn't do.
Yeah. Exactly. So we have this here, and they're dueling, and then we have the Deveroni. What's her name again, Steve? I know you said you really liked her, and I just don't remember.
Jezel. She's I am now its true master and yours. You can no more withstand me, Windu, than the others can withstand my companion, Asajj Ventress. So basically, that's what's going on with Bulk and stuff. And actually, I need to correct myself. It's probably Jezel.
Jezel?
Yeah, her name is Sion. Her name is Sion Jezel.
Okay.
Sion Jezel. Okay, everyone, let's Google it and look for the phonetics.
Yeah, phonetics there.
It's
all right.
It's written Jeisel, so I think it's Jezel.
Yeah, Razvan, and I hope I'm saying it correctly, our friend from Romania, he just spelled it out for us. Thank you.
Yep.
I'll put it up here real quick. Let's see here. There we go.
I stand with Jezel.
Yes.
There we go.
The apprentice fellow turns on them.
Yes.
He almost defeats her, and she stabs him in the gut. And then Ventress is cutting a slice out of Master Rook.
Yep, and he goes down. I mean, he's not dead or anything, but he does get the blade a little bit. So, all right.
And Master Rook, I believe, actually survives all the way up to the Legacy comics by staying in exile.
Holy moly!
Yeah.
What is his species age factor?
Damn old.
Damn old.
I was gonna say.
Damn, they're old. Because I know Wookiees and Yoda and his species have a long living period. So I've never looked into their species, and I never really thought about it until now that Stig brings it up. But yes, he survives. He
also
lives
it seems to be a Karuk, not Rook.
Yeah, Karuk.
Master Karuk.
Because I think like Rook is a Nogri and Karuk. So we have Rook, who is a Nogri that we meet in the Thrawn trilogy, and then we have Karuk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's about to behead him, and Mace Windu shows up and saves the day. And then we get to see the awesome lightsaber Ventress has, because she can connect them into two-bladed lightsaber. That's what they're called, two-blade.
Yeah, right here, and it's even curved like her master's too. So it's got belts.
She is literally trying to maul him.
Oh, that's a good one. All right. And so we have all the beautiful sound effects here that I know that Miss Martin loves here. And Yes, it's so much fun. These are so fun. Okay.
We have Shakao.
There we go. I think you haven't done that one yet, huh?
Nope, that's a new one. Yeah, I'm
That's
reading
a
up
new
the new
one.
one.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, let's move on. All right,
And,
so she gets away.
Yeah. She jumps on a little droid. Remember when that happened in the Clone Wars movie? That's where Filoni ripped it off.
Okay. I try not to remember that. I try not to.
The more I learn about what he did, well, it'll go on a digression, so forget it, but another time.
There's always time and a place, but yeah, but I get what you're saying. I get it. Without you even saying that, I know what you're saying. I get it.
Well, I just didn't know, because when I watched the Clone Wars cartoon, I watched it with the little people in my life. So I loved it. It's like, yay. And then now I'm learning, because I didn't pay attention too much, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you were viewing it in a child's eye that, sometimes if they haven't read the material that came before,
yeah,
it's fascinating to them. But once, like how you did, once you went back and started reading and realizing and piecing things together, you're like, oh,
yeah,
it wasn't done too well.
Well,
this is what we should have gotten in TV show form.
Yeah.
Preferably in this art style too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that would have been cool. Yeah.
I mean, it's a war, right?
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be goofy, cartoony slapstick.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh, but it's for kids, and it's for Cartoon Network.
Yeah. The first Clone Wars thing wasn't kiddie.
None of it is. Star Wars, yeah. It's they always refer back to the age 12. But when you look at everything with Star Wars, it's a lot of adult rated type stuff in here when it comes to war and guts and embodiments, like capitations and and all that, and
age 12 and 77 would probably be rated a lot higher now because kids weren't pussies back then.
Yeah. Well, the genius of Star Wars always was that kids could get it and go, ooh, like I did when I first saw it when I was a little girl. Mm-hmm. But adults can also enjoy it on the deeper level. Like there were a lot of things that I just didn't catch as a little girl, the darker themes. Because I always use the example of in The Empire Strikes Back when they were torturing Han Solo, or in A New Hope when they were torturing Princess Leia. That went right over my head.
Yeah.
Just because the little brain doesn't process that. So, but adults could get that, but the kids could go, oh no, it's,
My thing, when I watched Empire Strikes Back and when I seen Han getting encased in carbonite and how they brought him out, I freaking cried. I was so young when I watched that. I cried. Yeah. I'm like, why did they do that to him?
My sister was scared shitless of Vader.
Yeah.
When she saw that, because it was, the dad chopping the son's hand off, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So that was she had a reaction to that.
Yeah.
So naturally, I would stand outside her bedroom door and make Darth Vader sounds.
Sibling love.
Yeah. I was gonna say that would make you clean up your bedroom. But no, I felt the same way about Han Solo and Carbonite. The first time I saw it was when it came out. I was 6, and then when it came out on video later, I would always close my eyes every time because I couldn't stand to see Han Solo looking like that.
Yeah, I was like, I was so struck by that too, and like I could still feel that feeling that I had when I first watched it, and even watching it like a few times after. It's like I was like, why are they doing that? I mean, it was just like horrifying in a sense. It was very dramatic, and it made you feel, especially seeing Leia up there, and how she was reacting too. It just made you feel so much emotions with that. Yeah. So I mean, when they say, oh, it's for kids, blah, 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 there's a lot of like, even the emotions, there's a lot of like adult like situations that evoke these emotions that, I wouldn't say kids wouldn't understand, but they probably would take it in a different perspective where it may overwhelm them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I said, it just kind of goes over your head. I remember just getting the sense that oh no, Princess Leia is in jail, and all that. I had no idea what that robot was and all of that. I remember catching onto it when I watched it when I was in high school, and I was like, dude, she's being tortured.
Right? It's like a level of maturity. As you get older, you realize like these little bits of pieces that you didn't catch when you were little, and you like see it in a new light.
Yes, precisely. And that's the genius of it. And that's the genius of good storytelling like that. It can be enjoyed on several different levels and on different rereadings, rewatchings, all of that.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So we strayed just a little bit, but here we go. We'll go back to the comic here. So Asajj gets away and you see her, taken off in her ship. And, Mace tries, they try to stop her, but it doesn't happen. So let's move on. Yeah, that's emotional in itself. And then so Mace leaves with with Giselle and Baroque. Or not Baroque, Karuk.
Karuk.
Yes.
Karuk and Jazel.
Yes, Jazel and Karuk. And so basically what he tells them, and I thought was really interesting, is like, they still feel the same way, about not wanting to participate in the Clone Wars as general and the direction they're going. And what Mace tells them is that they will honor them with the way they want to go, as long as they don't go to the dark side. So they want to still keep in touch with them. They still want to honor their decision. They still want to have the unity, so that they won't go to the dark side and stuff. So he's very adamant about that and honoring them in their path as a Jedi. So I thought that was really interesting. You guys want to say anything else?
And they kind of mirror Qui-Gon a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They disagree with the Council, basically.
Yeah.
They're all about the Force and the Jedi, but they disagree with the Council, which some people seem to think equals being a gray Jedi. It doesn't. It just means you're a bit politically gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is totally different than the spiritual part of it.
Yeah. Means you're more like a political centrist, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's very much like a lot of religious bodies, that there is the spiritual part of it, and then there's, if you will, the human part of it. And I always see that the Jedi Council is like that human part of it that you have for the organization, etc. But the spiritual part of it is far more broad.
Yeah.
Or rather, sorry, I was going to say, or rather, in Star Wars, the alien, human, whatever. I just realized I was non-inclusive. Don't come after me.
Oh, no. We won't do that here. You could say people in it, and people is used for any type of race and stuff in Star Wars.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're not about that here. It's okay.
I know. It's just the YouTube police.
Yeah, well, they can kiss my butt. All right. So Orange Hat review. Double-bladed lightsabers are extremely easy to defeat if you know their weakness, and it's a big weakness.
Yeah, it's basically the center.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you need to turn to defend your center.
Defend your center. And then Razvin, you underestimate my powers. Look, I'm on a droid.
Oh.
And then Cavatino Che, Duel of the Fates with dialogue from the movies is my favorite version. It is on the Ultimate Edition of the Phantom Menace soundtrack with Darth Maul on the front cover. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that music video, that was part of the promo for.
It would be fun if you bought that soundtrack at the mall.
Oh. Of course. So, people, if you have a Star Wars fan, I would suggest, if they don't have this, get this for them. So
absolutely.
So just get them anything Star Wars from before 2015.
Yes, exactly. And then Francis, I love Mace Windu. He is so cool. I'm beginning to like him. I mean, there's parts where I'm like, I'm not sure. So Orange Hat, hey there. Oh, this is that Jane Theory. Awesome. Let me see here. Let me scroll this up a little bit. Come on, work with me. There we go. All right. Thank you, Jane. All right. So we have a nice little conversation going on, which I love. And then so we have a Cardoon thing. Cardoon, mother of Navarro, Lava, Meerkat dragons, because the little critters she saved actually spits breath, breathes fire, the clever swinging Aqualish had his face burned when Kara shot him. Oh, so you're talking about The Mandalorian. I haven't watched any more episodes. So
I only watched episode 1 of season 2, and then I was like, nope.
Uh-huh. Have you watched any, Teresa?
Yes, I watch them with the family. It's become a family tradition. The kids want to watch it all together, and so we do every Friday night. I, to be honest, would not be watching season 2 if that were not the case. I think that season 2 is very, very boring.
Yeah. I haven't these after episode 2 for season 2. I'm like, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's mandatory viewing.
Precisely. Well, between that and Pascal being himself, it just gave me such a bad taste in my mouth. Though I do appreciate the physical talents of Gina Carano.
Oh,
with her, she does her own fighting stunts and things. I do appreciate the talent within it. How's that?
Yeah, well, I respect that too. I mean, she's a brand new character. I think she's being more developed than we are seeing Mandalorian, and we see him in every single episode, which is sad.
Mm-hmm.
And so she is a favorite now because of that, because of her character arc and stuff. What was funny, and I've seen this here, is that there was a X-Wing pilot said that he served during Alderaan. And I'm like, there was no Alderaan campaign because the planet was a peaceful, had no weapons or anything type of planet.
Yeah, wasn't that Pablo Hidalgo played him?
Was it Pablo who did? I'm not sure.
Oh my gosh.
Still, it's a plot hole. Served under Alderaan. They didn't have military.
Oh, yeah, I thought he said during Alderaan, or maybe I'm.
Well, during or served during Alderaan,
or when Alderaan happened. That's how I interpreted it. Because if he was on Alderaan, he'd be dead.
Yeah, but the way it was worded, because we know Cara Dune is from Alderaan as well, so she's one of them that has lost, the planet, lost family and stuff, and her home planet. Is that instead of saying I served during Alderaan, because Alderaan was never a campaign.
You're right. They should have said I served during the rebellion or the early days of the rebellion or something like that.
Yeah, you could have said I served during Scarif, because during that time frame, Scarif had just happened.
And then I served during the OT.
And then between Scarif and Princess Leia being taken and Alderaan being destroyed, there was no campaigns really, really going on during that time, as far as I know. And you guys can correct me in the chats if there is in Disney, but there was really none because the plans were already taken. And I think after all that happened with Scarif, the fighting, I don't know how long it went on, should have been done and concluded during that time frame, unless they were still going on. But even if they're still going on with the battle at Scarif, then why didn't he, as a pilot, reference Scarif? Because that's the campaign.
You are correct. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Filoni didn't even watch Rogue One. So,
oh gosh, well, yeah, there seems to be a little bit of ego going on where they don't watch things or pay attention to things that aren't what they are creating, which is very, very snobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it means you're not honoring the source material, which means if they can't honor the source material, why should the viewers and the readers honor their material?
Yeah, precisely. It'd be like when I'm playing in an orchestra, if I only care about when my section is playing and I ignore what the other sections are doing, it's like then there wouldn't be a symphony.
Yeah, it would be coherent and there wouldn't be a story told with the music, right?
Yeah, precisely. Actually, a very good analogy, since Star Wars is supposed to be a space opera.
Precisely.
Yes. All right. So I got a $2 super chat here. Thank you so much. This BS is real. Happy Thanksgiving. You too. Well, I hope that you enjoy your family time and you enjoy the food that's being served and, get nice and fat and lazy today. I mean, that's what's about, right, too, is getting nice, fat, lazy, full, watching your favorite team that's playing today or your favorite show that's playing today.
It's basically like every day then.
And then Wookiee Supremacy Hey everyone, thank you for joining. We have about 29 people here. It's been fluctuating between 29 and 32 or something, and I'm so thankful for every one of you guys here. Orange Hat reviews, got to get back to it, but the weakness to double-bladed lightsaber is by knowing where one blade is. You know where the other blade is. It is very restrictive. Master has some from Darth Bane book 1. Yeah. So here we go. Abu Nas, outside the second episode, which was trash, I like season 2 episodes for the most part, despite the obvious mistakes regarding the EU lore and all the nostalgia fates.
It's not necessarily messing with the EU. It's even more messing with Disney lore.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the Disney lore, there was no occupation of Tatooine.
Mm-hmm.
It's not mentioned anywhere yet. On the show, they all of a sudden there was
occupation.
Yeah. They
just
didn't bother with it.
Yeah. But they'll have to make their explained universe novels to, like,
well, they actually ignored that too, because the background story for the sheriff is in a novel by Kaku Wendig, and there was no invasion in there.
There is no invasion. He was a slave, and how he got the armor is very different in Aftermath versus how he got it in The Mandalorian.
Precise.
And then one, he's a sheriff, and the other, he's a marshal.
Yeah. Well, not only that, Luke specifically says in A New Hope, "Oh, that's so far away, anyways."
Yeah.
If they were occupied, he wouldn't have said that.
Exactly. He knows of what's going on, but it's they're not affected by it. So so we'll go on then. All right. The rebel plot pilots said, "I served during Alderaan." He meant he was in the rebellion during Alderaan destruction. Still doesn't make sense. Usually you'll say, "I served during this campaign." That's how pilots would talk. They would talk about the certain campaign during that time.
Yeah. They wouldn't talk about, if the guy was a World War II veteran, he wouldn't say, "I served under the Hiroshima bomb."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
They would,
Yeah.
Yeah, if you did serve under that, you wouldn't be there to talk about it.
Yeah, and then, on top of that, instead of saying that, he could have said, "I'm so sorry about what happened to your planet."
Mm-hmm.
There would be that reference, people addressing Leia's loss of her planet and stuff during the original EU. No one's ever said, "I've served during Alderaan." No. So they would usually say, "We're sorry about your loss," or whatever. I'm just paraphrasing or whatever. All right. But that was just off. That was kind of off. So, that seeing that being posted as a meme and stuff, that was weird. So I'm still hoping that Cara Cynthia Dune is a moniker of Cintis from Conquer Dawn. It wouldn't still be the same because Cintis would be married to Boba Fett. And Cara Dune is Alderaanian. Cintis is Kiffer, like Quinlan Voss. So that still wouldn't be the same. And I would say just leave her alone because she's worthy keeping in the original EU as Boba Fett's wife as well. Is it Cintis that's the wife, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's get back to the comics here, since we've been yapping away here. And so we're getting into the new one here. And we have this badass picture between Obi-Wan and Asajj right here. And so we are getting into the Blast Radius. So the next comic here for the Clone Wars. So we have Mace and Anakin waiting, watching Kenobi come in, and you look at his ship. It's, you could tell he's been through hell. You could tell he's been shot. It's on fire, and he can't keep control of it.
He's still flying half a ship.
Yeah. And then, they're worried, and it looks like he's going to crash off the platform. So Anakin uses, his force power ability to help control it so he doesn't lose his master. And look how bad Obi-Wan looks right here.
Another happy landing.
Yeah, another happy. This is where we get that he says, "I hate flying."
Yeah.
Fly, yes. Land, no.
And now you kind of get like how he's feeling when they land in the big old starship. What was that? What was Grievous's ship's name in Revenge of the Sith that they land? Do you remember?
I don't remember. It's mentioned in the opening crawl, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And I just forget it. So if you guys remember Orange Hat, I'm pretty sure you do. Say it in the comments here. So we get why he was like so tense and stuff too as well. This kind of is like a little tiny foreshadowing of him, and all this. But he is totally torn up. You could tell that, he's been through a lot here, and he does have the serum. So Stig, you want to tell what the serum's about?
Oh, it's from the comic we did before the last one.
Yes.
Where they basically gassed the Gungans with poison gas, and Kenobi and a few others got it.
Yeah.
And to prevent the Separatists from using it again, they're basically looking for an antidote.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so we have Obi-Wan in the medic here, and we have the droid here, and they're overseeing him and stuff, and Anakin, of course. We still see him. He is a great character throughout these comics on how he's brooding, how he's unsure, how he feels misunderstood. All of this. It still keeps true to his character, which I love. And so they talk about other Jedi here that have passed away on the same mission that Obi-Wan was on, and so they have their holocron images as in memory. And I think this is like the Garden of Meditation in the temple, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's still, and even from then, and even all the way into when Luke recreates the new Jedi Order and vamps the Jedi temple there on Coruscant, and they still keep the garden.
Yeah, he actually replants.
He replants, yes, he does. And so they talk about each one of these Jedi here that have served with Obi-Wan, and these guys are kind of like sentinels again, because they go off on their missions and they work around the universe, around the galaxy, on different missions and stuff, like and keep true form to what a Jedi is, in a sense. And so they have each one of these that they talk about. We have Master Noel, and then we have,
which is a female Bothan, I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Yep.
So we have Master
So
Noel.
if anyone wants to know what a Bothan looks like, that's it.
Yep, like a camel.
Yep. And they also call her the Fire Eater. So her name is like a Fire Eater, which is very interesting. And then
she has her force ability with fire, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which I thought was a bit dumb, to be honest, but.
And like she's like, and I don't think it's like even revisited, right? It's like she's the only one, as far as I can remember. Then we have John Antilles, which they think that's not his real name, but he's very he's very shadowy there, as you can tell.
Yeah, and Antilles in Star Wars is, according to Lucas, it's basically the Star Wars version of Smith.
Yeah.
So he's basically John Smith.
There we go, John Smith.
What people sign, in the old, detective movies and stuff like that, they just sign the,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
sign their checks with John Smith and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then we have Nico Dath. Was it Diath or Dath? Diath, maybe.
Yeah,
Diath. There we go.
Yeah,
so we have
Nico
Diath. Mm-hmm. And last, I have, and I love her. I love this one right here. We have Master Faye.
Master Faye, who is interesting enough, she looks like an elf. She has pointy ears. and elves are fey creatures. So that's probably where they got their name from.
Yeah. I know, really, it's really, I just love it and stuff. So so basically he got to work with these Jedi that really, you know, everybody heard about and knows about, but never seen or visited or even got to meet. And so we see, you know, Obi-Wan here, he's still facing the drama that has happened on that mission to get the serum. So and then here we go. So he arrives over there to is that the moon again? The what's it called? Which moon?
No, they basically found out where they're making the gas, I think.
Yeah.
So they're going there to get the data, pretty much, to get an antidote.
Yeah. And so he finally gets to meet all these masters here that he's heard about, but no one really ever has a chance to even meet and stuff. And Faye, she really is in tune with Obi-Wan, and she could tell that he's still sick and hurting from the gas that he experienced when they were, you know, trying to, you know, investigate and rescue the Gungans, you know, on the moon there of Naboo. And, you know, so she still, you know, she feels and, you know, wants to heal him or whatever. That's what I got there, you know, but he's like, I'm fine. I'm still strong. So,
Yep.
Yeah, check out Minas Tirith there. Isn't that what it looks like?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah. Surrounded by some lava.
Yeah, and it's floating.
Yeah, it looks like Tolkien-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Complete with an elf and a shadowy wizard guy. In a
Yeah,
cloak.
yeah, we have a lot of Tolkien kind of like eccentric stuff going on here, which is fun. It's fun, you know, because it's still Star Wars, but you have these little homages. And Stig just shared with me too, with you know, some little bit of Star Wars that was like nods that was put into the last book that he read.
Yeah, I read Terry Brooks' book, the final one. Terry Brooks also wrote the novelization for the Phantom Menace.
Yeah,
and I actually have his he has a book about writing. There's an entire chapter in it dedicated to how he worked with Lucas making that one.
Yeah,
maybe I'll read it for my channel and put up.
You should. That would be fun. All right, so they're meeting up here and they're talking about, you know, that the serums inside the floating castle, I guess you could say, facility, and so they're planning on you know, going in, and so they're in there and stuff, and they do sense, you know, life forms, I guess you could say, but not necessarily. You know, and you know, we have a lightsaber ignited. So you want to add anything here, Stig? Because I know I see one of your favorite women right here.
Yeah, Soul Assassin wants you to zoom in. Oh, you can't zoom in, can you?
I don't know, and I don't want to ruin it. So
yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to zoom in yourself this time, Soul Assassin.
Yeah, sorry, that's one Thanksgiving thing I can't oblige with. I'm sorry.
Well,
zoom in your dreams.
Yes, or just like put your face all the way up to the screen on the certain part you want to see.
Yeah, so, and we have Ventress and Dirge.
Yep, Dirge. And I had someone on Twitter who was saying, "What if that clone person in The Mandalorian is Dirge?" And I was like, "No."
Why would it be? He's not in Disney canon at all. They just Filoni ignored him in the Clone Wars.
Yeah. So, but we have these two here, and she's holding the serum, and then lo and behold, you know, she turns around and bam, there's Obi-Wan.
And he goes, "Hello there."
I don't think that's in the text.
It's in my head.
Yeah.
It's in your head. All right. So we go on here, and I love the colors in here. It's so vibrant. You can see the glowingness of the explosions and stuff going on. I think it's really done well. And so we do have I don't know if you've said this, this action sound here, Teresa. I don't know if you said that yet or not.
Oh, chom.
There we go.
And foom. He's using a grenade launcher, I believe, shooting at the Techno Union guys too. He's sacrificing themselves. Sacrificing them, blowing up, and the Bothan Fire Eater lady is caught in the blast.
Yes.
And she is absorbing some of it.
Yeah, she tells everybody to get back, and that's why she was named that, because of her ability, like Stig said. But it does overwhelm her, so we'll get into that right now.
Oh, Razvan he says Quatia. Queta is the name of the planet. Very close to Quenya.
Okay.
From Tolkien, the Elven language, Quenya.
Wow, so there's a lot of references here then.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I didn't get the name of this planet here, and usually I'll write it down and look it up in the atlas and stuff just to check it out. So I didn't, but thank you so much. All right, so we have the Bothan, she steps in, she like, stand back, I'll handle this or whatever, but it's too much for her. And you see her, she's burned up here. You could see all her burnt marks of her fur. A lot of her fur's taken off her face too because of the fire. Look at that.
Yeah, it was too much to swallow.
Too much to swallow. And of course, she's like, you guys need to go, don't worry about me, kind of deal. But everybody's feeling it. Of course they're going to feel it. They're Jedi. They're going to feel, everything that's going on as well. And Asajj does get away. She jumps up onto the platform here. And of course, Obi-Wan follows. And so we have her, and, she's standing there all pretty with her dress on, you could tell, and he's coming at her as well. And I think, yeah.
And she is doing what Darth Maul was too dumb to do in the Clone Wars. She's slashing the walkway.
Yeah.
Remember when I pointed that out?
Yes.
20,000 retarded Filoni boys lost their shit.
Oh, because he couldn't do that to, defeat Ahsoka?
Yep.
Yeah. You would think, because yeah, I don't know.
That's actually the only thing I did. I was thinking.
You were thinking. You can't think. You can't think. You just got to consume.
Yeah, just look at Ahsoka. Just look at Ahsoka. Don't think.
Yeah, and I did have someone yesterday tell me that they like Star Wars just for the story, but they don't care if there's any continuity or anything in it, or if it's coherent.
Yeah, I actually saw that. He said a story doesn't have to make sense to be good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I was like, then it's what?
Yeah, because there's a little debate, because he tried to say that he didn't like the EU or the Legends because there was continuity.
Yeah, he didn't like it because there's continuity.
And then it made
imagine that.
Yeah, so that's something for you to ponder, Teresa, and anybody else that's in the chat.
Yes.
Think about that. Just think about that. That's who you're catering to. All right. So we have the masters in here, jumping up on the platform. Is that Dirge? Oh, that's Dirge right there. Yeah.
Yep.
We have Dirge joining the fight as well. And
and the other Jedi fell into the he dropped down the floor basically, because Ventress slashed the walkway.
Yep. And this is kind of like,
actually no, my bad. Dirge kicks him off.
Yeah, he does.
And he's this foreshadows Mustafar a bit.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say, and I was waiting for you to say finish what you're saying. But yes, I was thinking the same thing. Yes. This foreshadows Mustafar and Obi-Wan and Anakin's fight.
Yeah, even like the angles there where he's at, and the these are so well crafted, for crying out loud.
Yes, they are. There's a lot of thought put into this. It doesn't give away any kind of story. It just shows that Obi-Wan has fought in such an environment as well.
Yep.
Be smart about it.
Yeah, and Nico Diath is trapped on a piece of floating thing in the lava.
Yeah.
And they try to reach him, but too late. He falls in.
Yeah.
And says, no.
I know. It's so sad. I was like, my heart was just pounding when I was reading this. And I'm like, oh my God, it was a bit emotional. I did get a bit emotional on this seeing all this go down. And
that's a terrible way to die.
Oh, this next one is worse. Dirge gets the John Antilles guy and drowns him in lava.
In the lava. Because Dirge this doesn't affect Dirge.
Yeah.
He just grabs him and drowns him.
And it goes.
Yes, he burns up. He cooks him.
Cooks him for dinner.
Yes, speaking of Thanksgiving, he cooks them.
Like a Thanksgiving turkey.
Yeah. He just, look at the picture though on the far left. He just grabs him and swings him around like a rag doll and just drowns him in the lava.
Dang, that's harsh.
Oh, and I told you, like, I was like on the edge of my seat reading this, and I'm like, oh my God, there's so much crap going on here. This is like, it's intense. It's intense for a comic, and that's what makes it really, really good. And then we have Faye right here, and I just fell in love with this character. Look how gorgeous she is.
And look at that pretty outfit.
Yes, and so she
almost like a geisha or something.
Yeah, that's another feeling I got from her too. Not only like the elfish, but also a geisha, and because of how she looks and all of that as well. It's her eyes, are very Asian looking type eyes as well.
Yeah, and the top part of her outfit there is definitely inspired.
Exactly.
Yeah. And she just uses the Force to spray Ventress with metal shards.
Yeah.
She's shrapneling her, basically.
Yeah, and look at Ventress right here, or Saj Ventress right here. She's just like, oh, kind of deal, taking that in. I mean, woman against woman, sometimes that can be the worst fight ever because.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a lot going on. We know exactly what will push another woman's button and stuff like that, and like even like those shards would cut a face, which would also hurt the woman's pride.
Yep.
Yeah, and she's there's shards sticking out of her, and oh, pardon my English, she's fucked up.
She is. Look at her face, is dripping blood. She's dripping blood. Look at that.
Oh.
Yeah, and so far she's the only one to injure Ventress.
Yeah.
Not even Windu could do that, but yeah. Then Dirge shows up out of the lava. Hell of an explosion happening, and Ventress is on her feet again.
Yeah, look at that. I'm just waiting for her to go for the hair.
And they say that with Faye, she's like one of the most powerful Jedi in history so far. Like, because she's been around for a long time, that she basically just zoned in on her Force abilities and stuff like that. So just look into her character arc, go back and research her and stuff. I wouldn't say she's like over powerful like Anakin, because he is the chosen one, but she is one of the most powerful ones.
Yeah, she's up there with Windu.
Yep.
And she's pretty.
She is. She's gorgeous.
Well, not for much longer.
Oh goodness. And just like Teresa was saying, if there was hair, I'm pretty sure there'd have been like a little bit of pulling there too, maybe or whatever.
There she goes. She's skewered like a Thanksgiving turkey.
Yep, she gets it taken through her heart.
And apparently
double penetration from behind. She's dead.
Oh, and apparently you go when that happens.
Yeah.
But not according to Christopher Lee, but oh well.
And then we have Obi-Wan on the edge of the cliff, holding on. He's holding on for his dear life.
A literal cliffhanger.
There we go. Dun dun dun. And Asajj gets away, of course.
Yeah, she just leaves him there.
Yeah, she just leaves him hanging, basically.
Why didn't she just like step on his fingers or something?
She says we'll meet another time, basically.
Yeah,
how convenient.
Basically the fight is over. She doesn't have to kill him.
No,
the whole place is blown up. There's no need to.
Exactly, and of course there is a little bit of plot armor here because he can't die yet.
Yeah, and Faye saves him.
Yeah, Faye does save him, but I'm saying if she Asajj can't do anything to him because, like, step on his hands to make him fall down because there's a little bit of plot armor there. So we have Faye that she withstands the penetration basically of the sabers, and she has enough in her, and she's probably honing in on the Force to keep her alive, which is doable. Jedis can do that for some time, and so she rescues Obi-Wan.
There we are.
So, and we see the bottom part there where, she's, he is now, sitting over her as she dies.
Aww.
As she dies. And it's sad.
And this is why the EU did it well, because Obi-Wan experiences all kinds of loss all through the comics.
Yes.
Which leads to a little bit to his bitterness in between episode 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And most likely he has post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yes.
Yep.
He lost everybody. And that was even before Order 66.
Yeah, and he saw it happen.
Yeah.
Well. And that reminisces like the Kenobi novel as well, because he goes through a lot. And he says a lot too in it.
Yeah.
But his being raised in the Jedi Order and stuff also helps him keep faith throughout the Kenobi novel as well.
Yeah, and then we have the cover for the next comic we're doing, which is Shakti, and this comic is all kinds of awesome. I'm not kidding.
Yep. Exactly. And you see Obi-Wan here with tears in his eyes as well, as he's remembering every single one of these people.
Poor Obi-Wan, he needs a hug.
He does need a hug. Look how terrible he looks as well. He's been through a lot of shit.
Been through hell. Needs a bath.
And he still comes out with protecting Luke. He still comes out, with keeping faith in the Jedi Order even after the Purge and going in exile to protect Luke. Yep. That right there, he has such an enduring, strong spirit.
Yep. Amen, sister.
And if you haven't, fell in love with this character already, this is another reason to fall in love with him as a character and stuff, is that him endearing everything and still having that faith and still believing that there is hope and that there is hope in Luke.
Because he's a new hope.
Exactly. And, sadly, this is not going to be reflected in the new lore.
Yeah, especially after what we're seeing with the casting for their Kenobi show, they're not gonna go that direction at all.
They're casting a female supporting lead. It's a woman, which I'm not gonna really be upset about, but in a way, yes, because we see the Kenobi novel. His leading supporter is a female, Annalene.
Yeah, but in the Disney show, they specifically look for a person of color and what is it called, Latinx?
That's another character.
Yeah, which is the term that Latinos actually hate.
Yes. Yeah.
So and some stupid comedic sidekick idiot.
Yeah. The other guy is a comedic sidekick, and it's a male.
Yeah, and no race was specified for that one.
Yeah, because you can't have men be men of dignity, and it wasn't even a supporting lead. They called it a co-lead. So this person is equal to Obi-Wan, not supporting.
And so everybody's speculating, oh, well, she's going to teach him how to be who he is as Ben. And she's probably going to give him his name as Ben. Not that, like in the original EU, there's a reason why he names himself Ben. It was an undercover name from the past.
Yep. And probably she'll talk down to him and humiliate him.
Yep.
Yeah. And she's going to teach him how to use the crate dragon sound and all kinds of stuff.
Survival skills, because he doesn't know anything, obviously.
Yeah, and then he's going to spend his time watching over Luke, who actually does not matter in Disney canon one bit.
No,
nothing he did changed anything. That goes for Anakin too.
Yeah, and poor Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru sacrificed everything for nothing.
Yeah.
They're all they did was set Palpatine back 30 years. That's all they did.
Yeah. All right. So since we're talking about Kenobi here, and since we got done, and he's a pivotal character with the Skywalker, the hope and all that stuff, So I know both of you guys read the Kenobi novel, correct, Teresa? You did, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what did you like about the Kenobi novel? Teresa, I'll go start with you.
Oh,
Like, what are your favorite scenes, maybe, or just share some of it?
Yeah, well, I like the way that we got into Obi-Wan Kenobi's head and saw how he first was trying to adjust from being this big public hero to a hermit out in the middle of nowhere, and just how he, even the mundane details, if you will, of how he got together his little shack and had to learn where to buy groceries. And you just, it was in the little things that you got to know the new Obi-Wan, if you will, the Ben Kenobi, and of course his guilt that was just dripping through him over what happened with Anakin, and could he have done something differently? It was pretty melancholy, but I loved it. It was a page turner.
It is definitely, and it's not your normal Star Wars like space battle kind of thing, but it's still very Star Wars. It's just gives us the perspective of what Kenobi was dealing with after Order 66 and all that, and then how he had to settle and not be a Jedi in the sense of helping everybody.
Yeah, he had to hold himself back.
Yeah, exactly. He still had to train like a Jedi and stuff, but he couldn't reveal himself as a Jedi. And one thing when he did by accident was the Krayt Dragon scene. So if you guys haven't read the novel, I'm going to spoil it. I'm sorry. We already talked about this when we see Mandalorian comparing Krayt Dragon scenes and stuff as well. He takes his lightsaber and he uses the lightsaber to kill the Krayt Dragon. So there's a nice epic scene in the novel where it explains everything that happens in that, his fight with the Krayt Dragon to protect everyone, including Sand People.
Yeah, it's a little throwback to classic literature with the old retired knight fights a dragon for the last time.
Yeah, precisely. That's a good. I didn't even think about that, but you're exactly right. That is what it was.
Exactly.
I'm always right.
Started. Did I say it out loud again? You are right. My God. Feeding the ego. Feeding the ego.
Yes, you are.
No. It's not ego. It's just factual. We do like to stick to original lore, and
Yeah, and so Stig, so what were your favorite moments, or just recap on the Kenobi novel? Like, what really was significant for you when reading that, or what caught your eye?
It's a very psychological book, more than anything, and I thought it was very much like a Western, a bit like Unforgiven almost, with Clint Eastwood. You have the old gunslinger, settling down somewhere, getting, to get away from his old life, and then he gets dragged into it a little bit. And there's ranchers, there's natives causing problems, and there's even some rifle smuggling in a sense.
Yeah.
And and the trading depot that is centered around the story where Annalene is and all that. You've seen the characters in a Western.
Yeah.
Right. You have the rancher and his sons, doing shady stuff, trying to rile up the population and against the natives, and you have the lady trying to run a store by herself and with her kids misbehaving. It's
the widow character. There's always a widow.
Yeah, it's and there was a Celtron that I think was a waitress or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a hot waitress.
Yeah, your favorites.
Yeah, and and the gunslinger learns about the local animals and how to How to Survive. So it's
Hmm.
a Western in Star Wars, and it's that there's been Western TV shows that have this as a premise, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
You have the kind of stereotypical cast members.
Hmm.
There's almost a love story, but it never really happens, and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's
I would say this too, that yeah, it was a Western themed kind of deal, but it wasn't obvious to a sense where you look at Mandalorian and you have that one alien that talks kind of like slangish like a native, which annoyed me very
oh
much.
yeah, Nick Nolte's character. That was
Hmm.
like yeah, and then
So it
Disney. Oh
wasn't
yeah,
on
we
the
were not
nose
gonna.
obvious. It was
Yeah,
basically it was still stayed within the lore. It still stayed within the Tatooine lore of, you know, the settlers versus the Sound people, the natives. There wasn't really any obvious like real life, our life type scenarios or how people talked in it, just like I said with the, you know, this is the way, or this is how it's supposed to be, or whatever that quote is, and trying to talk that monotone kind of stereotypical that people see natives talk in the old country westerns. So it wasn't that type of on the nose. I don't think Mandalorian plays the western too well when it's trying to stay within the Star Wars theme, because you're supposed to say, oh yeah, it reminds me of western. It's not supposed to be a western.
yeah, and if I could get slightly political, w- with the casting thing we saw for Kenobi, you know,
Mhm.
they're looking for a black female and a Latino female, right?
Yeah.
That's what they're going for.
Hmm.
There's
Yeah.
nothing about the character, you know.
Yeah.
It's just it's obvious they want the skin color
Hmm.
for
Yeah.
representation to make themselves look good.
Yeah.
And if I was a black female and I got that part,
Hmm.
I would constantly be thinking, you know, they didn't hire me for my abilities; they hired me for my skin color,
Yeah.
And then
right?
they do
Which,
it very condescendingly, where they trot them out like they're not
yeah,
human. I mean, it's so racist. I can't stand it. And they're like, "Look at what we have." Like
yeah,
it's
it's
really creepy.
they're using minorities as props.
They're tokens.
Yeah,
They're
which
Yeah,
is
as tokens.
racist as f.
it
Mm-hmm.
is racist as F.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's no like hiring people for their skill anymore.
Nope.
Well, I'm sure the actresses are skilled, but that's not why they're hiring them.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know?
Well, basically what I'm saying is like who truly fits it based upon their skill and how well they portray it. You know, it's about skin color or ethnicity first. Then
Yeah,
so if we have someone that doesn't fit that first check mark box in what they require, but you're an awesome actor, actress, or whatever, you still won't qualify, no matter if your acting skills way better than the person who they want to bring in, because
yeah,
of that making sure
and
that that check
and
box.
and they keep saying that it's about representation and all, but we
Hmm.
know that that is bullshit
Yeah.
because they edited Finn on the posters for the China what was it, Force Awakens.
Yes. Yeah, they
They
edited him
basically
out, moved in the back.
they basically put the black man at the back of the bus on that poster.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
they've already done that, so we know it's not about representation. Because
Yeah.
if it was about representation, they would not have done that at all. And I
No.
Hmm.
think they did something like that with Rose Tico as well. She got pushed back.
Yeah.
Yeah, they originally had her on the poster, and then they took her out of the Rise of Skywalker. I believe that was the case, and then that was why we had the hashtag Where's Rose Tico,
Mhm.
and I was actually very much in favor of that, because gosh, they treated that actress so badly from the very beginning. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And
They did.
then they blame the fans. You know,
Mhm.
for, oh, you don't like Rose Tico because he's Asian, right?
Mhm.
And well, nobody complained about Donnie Yen and the other Asian guy in Rogue One. You
Mhm.
know,
No.
so fans don't have anything against Asians, and with Rogue One, they actually renamed Jan Ors Jin Urso. So they whitewashed Asian Jan Ors. How's that not racist?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not to get too deep into the details, but I can tell you that in many professions, including mine, they're actually starting to post advertisements if there's a new position like that they are specifically looking for women of this particular race. That's not mine. I happen to be pasty white as can be, of English and Scandinavian heritage, and it's just very odd to know to see that, and I'm just like, wow. And it of course talk about something that has nothing to do with your race or your looks. It's music,
It's so obvious though, because if you look at those ads or whatever, right, where they're looking for a specific race, replace the race they have written down with white, and sure as hell people would lose their shit over racism. Right?
Well, yeah, because it would be right. It would sound terrible. Like, imagine if they're like, we're doing a new initiative where we're trying to get this many new white women to work in our business.
Exactly.
And it's like, so if you know any white women, please pass on this information to them so that they can apply. And that's the kind of stuff I'm seeing. But of course, I put white in there. But now I'll change it to women of. I hate that term. I can't even say it out loud. I feel racist when I say it.
Of employment. That goes against the Equal Opportunity Employment Clause that no one should be discriminated against based upon color or sex.
Well, what they'll do is that they won't, let me rephrase this. They won't actually put that in the thing, but you'll get these memos saying, this is our initiative. Could you encourage them to apply? You see what I'm saying? So that's how they also get around it. They're like, please encourage people to apply.
There's going to be lawsuits. There'll be lawsuits because they have it in the job description. So that will be a permanent, that would, be a case for a lawsuit.
Well, how about just hiring the damn person that's best skilled?
Yeah. I'm going to get to this question here. How do you guys feel whenever the Ognot, and that's what he was, I forgot what he was, character always saying, I have spoken. And that's what I was talking about, the verbiage of, like good trade, kind of like stereotypical native speak back in the days where it seemed like, natives couldn't speak English very well, like they were dumbed down in learning how to speak it very well, and only saying certain words and making us look like we're idiots on how
I have a bunch of old Lucky Luke comics. It's a French comic, Western stuff, cowboy. The Indians in that one say it. I remember it clearly. Like a couple of them say, I have spoken. And then they walk away.
Yeah.
It couldn't be more stereotypical.
Yeah. And back in the day, that was kind of like the thing. And my people have worked hard to not have that as a thing anymore because it was very stereotypical. And then they put it in this right here in The Mandalorian. I'm like, oh my God, you guys, we don't speak that way. We do joke about it now because natives, we joke about any little thing that has happened because we think it's stupid.
Oh, it is. You know what natives should do though? Just go look at people and say, I have more to say, and then turn around and walk away.
I have more to say, but I don't want to hear it from you, or I don't want to talk to you. But so I thought it was like a very and I've debated when it first happened. I debated with people on Twitter about that. They basically call me wrong. And I'm like, I am the native here saying that this is stereotypical bullshit.
Yeah.
I had a guy from Minnesota lecture me about Vikings too.
Oh.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Wow. When someone wants to lecture you about your own ethnicity or race that you live.
Well, I think the person didn't know that Stieg was of Scandinavian heritage. And I think he even said something like that. If I'm correct, correct me if I'm wrong, Stieg.
No, he started cussing me out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. But that's the thing is like getting away from this how or, I have spoken, kind of stereotypical language BS that makes us look stupid.
Oh, and the peace pipe.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sit down and smoke the pipe with me.
Yeah. If we agree, we have to smoke the damn pipe.
Yeah, exactly. And I see your point, Laura, because what you're saying is, I recall it was still a deal when I was a kid and a teenager. And it's one thing, because I'm actually a proponent of leaving those old movies and things the way they are, because sometimes they want to edit those out.
Yeah, just leave it.
Because people have to see. Because there's a lot of racism that I never understood. But then like my mom and my dad was like, okay, watch this movie from the 1940s and how they would have the black people. And then I'd be able to see it. So you need to see it.
Yeah.
But if something was made in the 40s, 50s, 60s when this was happening. But Mandalorian is made right now. They have no reason to be doing that crap.
And it's very on the nose, our reality type stereotypes. We didn't need to see that in Star Wars. And is that how the Dreadnought talks?
It's exactly what Filoni did to Quinlan Voss. He turned him into a stereotypical
dude. Hey, dude, what's up, yo?
Yeah, you're right. It's a galaxy far, far away. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. It's not supposed to resemble our planet.
Exactly.
You want to escape.
Yep. Yeah, and so, like I said, people are like, oh, well, just get over it kind of deal. And I'm like,
oh, no, you get over it.
Yeah, I'm like, this is not a good representation, nor should we even put in our real life stuff inside, this fantasy. Yeah, we want it to kind of give us the feel that it's a Western in Star Wars, but we don't want to feel like it's an actual Western that happened in our history.
Exactly.
There's a huge difference. Just like Kenobi. Kenobi's a great novel that gives us that Star Wars type of Western feel, but none of it reflects our world other than maybe experiences that we feel with the characters. But we get that it's how people live on Tatooine, that we get that we have the settler versus native, which we can kind of, get the feel of like, this is what happened to like with, the colonists and the settlers of the United States or of America versus the Native Americans. We kind of get that feel, but it's not obvious.
Yes.
It's, stereotypes though are probably not going to go away because it has more to do with impression, than
victimhood and oppression.
No, the impression you have of a country, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If someone says Norway, people are gonna see a Viking in their head, right?
Yeah.
Or if someone says Mexico, you think about a sombrero. And if it's Japan, you think about a ninja, right? So something like that. So it's usually stereotypes tend to be like on the nose caricature thing of what the country is known for, in a sense. I mean, it's not necessarily racism all the time.
No, and there's a good way to be cheesy and make fun of those stereotypes, like Blazing Saddle does.
So that movie would not fly today.
It would not. But you do need stuff like that to laugh at the stuff that had happened in the past and show that, this stuff is not really, welcomed anymore, but we can laugh and make fun of the BS that had happened before and learn from it. And, but, today it's like, I feel like we're reliving things again, like nothing was learned from the past.
Well, they keep destroying history, so nobody's going to learn from history.
Yeah. And then Resvin says here, I think he's trying to say how. In my defense, I blame Carl May. How, in my language, Lakota or Sioux, how is a word that men say when they greet each other. So it's a hello. It's a male verse, or it's the male part of our language of hello. So when you see men say how, or when they, like even today, like if I can call up some of my family or friends, some of them will pick up, some of the guys will pick up and say how. That's them saying hello.
Yeah, is that where howdy comes from?
I don't know.
That would be how you
No.
do.
Oh, I think it was before then, but you know how, and then women say hey, like hey, you know, kind of like hey, but hey.
Yeah.
And so we have a feminine part of our language and a male part of our language.
Yeah. And it's just absurd. Like if I were to try to do it, it would just be absurd because I don't, first of all, it's not part of my heritage, but also I don't know how to use it. And yeah, it is demeaning.
Yeah, come up and say how.
Yeah. And people would be like, what the heck is wrong with you?
Yeah, the thing with the hand, that's absolutely a stereotypical thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's from old westerns, and it's in the comics that I mentioned. It's like all the damn time, holding up one hand.
Yeah.
And I know it's not quite the same, Alora, because of, if you will, the historical connections. But when I would go to Europe and in, you know, Ireland or even in England, and they would say, "Oh, you're American," and then they would get this, "Oh, how are you, Yank?" It was terrible, and I'd just be like, "What's wrong with you?"
Oh yeah, because you know, like Europe, like especially England or whatever, you know, we're the Yankees because of the separation and, you know, leaving.
Yeah, and of course the whole thing is, first of all, everyone knows that in a, you know, Yank. First of all, Yank, it's not very nice, but also it's you can be from the South, you can be from the West, you know, you're not a Yankee just because you're an American, but also just the way that then they make it real nasal. And that would actually happen more often than you could imagine. It was very condescending.
Wow.
But like I said, I'm not trying to equivocate because I know that there's some difference there, but it's very insulting. And dang it, I studied anthropology.
Well,
I studied
people in Europe don't like Americans. It's a thing.
Well, they like Native Americans. They loved me when I visited back there.
Well, to be fair, Stieg, I had very positive interactions. Like we say, we don't like Americans. People love me, or at least they love me. Maybe they love me when I go over because, you know, I just hop right. Like when I went to Iceland, I just hopped into the sun all by myself, and they're all talking French, and I start talking French, and they start talking French back, and even though I suck, they're nice. I've mostly had positive interactions. It's usually just some darned a-hole at the train station or something. It would just be very weird. But I know what you're saying, Stieg, but one-on-one, I've had mostly positive interactions with Europeans.
So I have formerly Rod Line, Rod Line. OG Star Wars, is there a line between stereotype and appreciation in the movies? What do you think the line is? Great show. Definitely not like this is the way, or not this is the way, but yeah, I have spoken kind of deal. If you're going to put in blatant kind of like stereotypical things to make a point that this person is speaking like a native, but in such a stereotypical way, that's not a way to do it.
This is not the way.
The best way I've seen it done was in I can't remember the name of the show. It was a comedy show it was in the 90s, early 90s. Two of the main characters were in a room, and one of them says, "Hey, there's an Indian outside the door, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And the guy goes, "Well, let him in." And he opens the door, and the old Indian comes in, and the guy and he says, "I have a message for you."
Mm-hmm.
And the guy looks at him and says, "Was it the eagle that brought you here?" And the old Native American says, "No, it was the bus. I got one of your letters sent to my mailbox by mistake." So
I love that.
Just handed it over to him.
I love that. It's like kind of squishes his stereotypical.
Yeah. Well, and not just that. At the end of the day, what this is showing on The Mandalorian is a lack of writing talent. Because if they wanted to have a character that was wise and a mentor figure and all that, they could have done it without stereotype. A good writer would have been able to have developed that kind of a character.
Yeah.
Without just going for the lowest, simplest common denominator.
Mm-hmm. And what's so neat about the Kenobi novel is like every time we get to a different species and how they talked according to their species and how it was developed in the lore. There was no like, this is the way because I, or this, or, I have said, or I have spoken kind of deal. There wasn't that stereotypical connotation type of thing where it says, okay, well, this is a Western, so we're going to classify this person as a native.
Mm-hmm.
They all spoke accordingly to how, and if you listen to the Kenobi novel on Audible, which is full version, so it's a task to listen to, but I recommend it. You'll even get that feeling too, that they spoke according to their species, not according to that this is a kind of a Star Wars Western, lifestyle on Tatooine.
Yeah, and if you all you have to do is watch Empire Strikes Back. Yoda is a wise guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't sound like a stereotypical anything.
Yeah, precisely. And he was a Muppet. And they were able to do that with a puppet, for crying out loud.
The Nemoidians, though, they do sound like some stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was some of that stuff in The Phantom Menace for sure.
Yeah, they sounded like they were like they had like an Asian kind of accent.
Yeah, and a very stereotypical one.
Oh yeah.
And I hate to say it, there was some truth in Jar Jar as well. I just don't talk about it too much because a lot of the media and stuff use that then to harass poor Ahmed Best, the actor, and it wasn't his fault.
And you're not trying to do that. You're just pointing out that. I get it. You could separate the actor from the character, and you can also just critique the character alone by itself.
Yeah, and we're capable of that. But I remember at the time, I was just like, you all are being terrible to this poor guy, the Ahmed Best, because it's like everyone knows, and every actor I've ever met, they say it's our job to read the lines, make our mark, and do whatever the heck the director tells us. They don't have this great input with anything.
Yeah.
And Ahmed Best is on record saying the fans never harassed him. The fans were always good to him.
Yep.
It was the media and the talk shows that made him depressed and harassed him because they were.
Yeah.
I remember back in those days. Those talk shows and all that, they had skits with the little Anakin and Jar Jar and stuff like that, basically making fun of him.
Yeah.
It wasn't the fans. I mean, how the heck could the fans even get to Ahmed Best and Jake Lloyd because there was no social media.
That is true. The most we had was like gather on the force.net on like forums, but nobody. Yeah, you're right. We had no access to the actors, and it was really very cruel. And I remember he was in the cast of Stomp, a chorus member, and he won the lottery. He got to be in a Star Wars movie, and then this happened to him. I think that was terrible what they did.
Yeah, and Jake Lloyd has specified many times the fans didn't harass him. It was bullied in school.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was more of a peer pressure bully type thing in school rather than the fans. And I had no problem with him whatsoever as a young Anakin or anything. I thought it was good. It served its purpose. Being that young and acting in such a big franchise alone is probably huge pressure anyways for someone.
Yeah. And I think actually, if you're going to blame someone, blame George because he did not get the best out of a lot of the actors in that trilogy. Because Natalie Portman is bad.
Oh, she was terrible,
especially in the third one. And Hayden Christensen isn't that good either. Until the episode 3, when he starts turning to the dark side, that's when he's good.
Yeah. And I think that they're looking for Natalie, especially in Revenge of the Sith, she was pregnant, so they're looking for her to be more hormonal, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think she has kids, right? She doesn't have kids.
No. Well, and she even said later a bit that she wasn't into it. Mm-hmm. And
you could tell vibes when they're not into it.
It was a very lazy performance. Mm-hmm. I will defend Hayden Christensen, though, Steve. Mm-hmm. I thought that he did exceptionally well in both movies because I believe, again, he did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And besides his supporting role in Life as a House, this was his first movie that he was headlining, and he was very young and inexperienced. And I think he did do exactly what George wanted him to do. He wanted him to be unstable, hormonal, and
angsty, doubtful.
Which is what it was like in My Life as a House. And he was excellent in that movie.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, and that's an example of a well-crafted, well-directed movie. I am a prequel defender, but I will also acknowledge its flaws.
Exactly. And that's what it's about, is like, I love the prequels. I see like how the Phantom Menace sets up the whole like 6 movies. You could see all those nods. You can see all that setup. You can see how it sets up Anakin as well. So I get it. And I do acknowledge the flaws too as well. And I think that's what many people misunderstand, is that, if you like it, then you like it to a fault. Yeah. And that's not true. If you hate it, you hate it to a fault, which is not true. There's times I've given Disney, Star Wars, like props for certain things.
Yeah. For example, even the OT, I will say that my opinion is A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back especially are flawless. But there are moments definitely in the Return of the Jedi. We used to call it the bad acting scene. That scene with Leia and Luke and Han on the bridge with the Ewoks. And Leia just finally goes, "Hold me." That's cringe as can be. Even the original trilogy had some terrible, terrible moments.
Yeah.
Especially Return of the Jedi.
But not all movies are exactly perfect either.
No, it's very rare. No, and lightning rarely strikes twice. The way that I try to gauge the prequels versus some of the other, the sequel trilogy, is I saw each one of those in the cinema several times. I'm talking 10, 11, 12. We went back to see them again. And then when they came out on DVD, again and again, the soundtracks, I listened to all 3 soundtracks over and over. I played them. I analyzed them. The sequel trilogy, none of that. I didn't even go for repeat. I saw them once and that was it. I didn't care to listen to the music. When they came out on DVD, I didn't buy them. I didn't watch them. I have not rewatched any of them.
Yeah. I stopped at the Force Awakens, and that's it. I did watch Rogue One because I was very curious, because I love dark forces. And I guess I seen it that the Rise of Skywalker is nominated for the best score award, which is all John Williams. So that
I was going to say, John Williams could fall over and knock over a bucket and he could still make great music.
Exactly. It'll be just like it'd fit in there so well.
Yeah.
So he's a phenomenal, he's phenomenal. He's created some great scores in his life, especially with Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
And
his
so
use of the leitmotif was revolutionary for modern cinema.
Exactly. And, a lot of like stuff that he redone for the new trilogy is just like remakes from the past scores, which obviously would give him, that nomination. So
there's, he also put in a little snippet of the Shadows of the Empire soundtrack in the opening sequence to Revenge of the Sith.
That's right, huh? Oh, I can't wait to talk about that when we talk about Shadows of the Empire. So I know we've been going over 2 hours, and I got to get up and I have to start prepping and getting stuff done and cooked for tomorrow. So on December 3rd at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, myself, Stig, Teresa, and Rezvin, correct?
Revkev.
Rezkev. I'm sorry. Sorry.
We're getting a preacher to preach.
Yes. And yes, so we are going to talk about Shadows of the Empire, the novel, but also the multimedia project. There are some people that have read the comics, some that played the games. So every single piece of the multimedia project, covers a certain area of Shadows of the Empire in a different perspective. And so I can't wait to get into that.
George Lucas sure as hell considered it to be canon. Because he approved it. He put Prince Zizor in episode 1. He's at the pod race. He put Dash Rendar's ship in the special edition of A New Hope. And the droids from Shadows of the Empire are seen in A New Hope as well.
Yeah. And I stand completely corrected. Steek has a way of messing with my mind because I was not very. I'll talk about it maybe during the thing about the score from the Shadows of the Empire. I have opinions on it, certain objective opinions on it, but the subjective, where he, as he just mentioned it, they used it in Revenge of the Sith, so I'm going to have to do some listening for the score.
And something else to play with your mind, Teresa, on this is that they did ask John Williams to do the score, and he wasn't available. And so he recommended the person they use, and so we'll talk more about that, who he used. So the person who does the score for Shadows was highly recommended by John Williams himself.
Yeah, and I said I'm such a music snob. People hate my guts. That's part of my problem.
I was raised in a musical family. My grandfather, he played in various orchestras. He had his own music shop where he repaired and sold music and played all the instruments himself as well.
Did he play a Cherokee board?
What?
A Cherokee board.
A Cherokee board?
What the Steve?
It's a pun. Cherokee keyboard.
He's not Cherokee.
I know, but it was. Come on.
He's Filipino.
Oh, I thought it was Native American.
No, he's one of the grandparents that's not Native. Yeah.
Well, and I'll say this. I will do this. I will take what both of you said into consideration, and of course, anything that John Williams recommends is recommended to me.
Teresa.
Well, no, I mean it's. I'll save it for the talk.
Okay.
Because
the soundtrack is available on YouTube, actually.
Yes, I have it. I have the soundtrack. I'll just say this because I need to be fair that his job was a thankless job, and I think that he did. I will tell anyone he got the job done because it was supposed to be a soundtrack to go along with the books.
Look what Laura has.
Ooh!
I have it on vinyl. I haven't opened it because I want to keep it pristine, but I have it on vinyl. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So you guys stay tuned for that. I can't wait till we discuss that novel. And then once we discuss that, we'll have up on my Twitter other books to vote on so that we can see which one we're going to discuss afterwards. And read and discuss as well. So if you guys haven't picked up the book, do it. It's a great read. It's not, it won't take that long. Once you get into it, you'll keep reading because you get to see and feel Vader's love and opinion towards Luke in a sense, and even how the Palpatine and Vader respects Luke's power and kind of like is a little bit afraid of that as well because he has such raw power. We also get to see Leia in her flight to save Han and her dealing with that emotions towards him. There's a lot going on.
Oh, and she gets to experience toxin masculinity.
Yeah, so we'll get a bit of toxic masculinity in there as well, and all of that. And we are introduced Dash Rendor, which I know probably people have their opinion about him, and we'll discuss that opinion later.
Yeah. Well, all I can say is this: as a spoiler, I have written all over it my copy of it, my hard copy. So.
Oh, that was
written inside.
So disappointed in you. I annotate too, and Stige hates that.
I know he's probably disagreeing.
Approve.
I know you don't approve. I think I can see you staring at me across the ocean.
You can feel that glare, huh?
Yep.
Teresa, it's like, let's say you have a piano, a gorgeous piano, and then you find gum in between the keys. It's like that.
It wouldn't work. Well, hey, but when I play music, I write all over my music too. You have to.
It's not a book.
when you get into academics and you go into like literature courses, like English literature courses and stuff, you are taught to like annotate, quick short annotations and stuff like that. And I think that's where Teresa's getting at, because that's what I learned too. I was at basically the top in my literature class, and that's what's encouraged, especially when you're analyzing and breaking down a story you have to write about.
Yeah. And I majored in history, and you had to read several books a week and do it very quickly and get it point. And so you'd have to do that. But I will be fair to Steve.
We will be talking about your treatments of books after the stream.
I just said I can see your point, because I think what Stieg is saying, correct me if I'm wrong, Stieg, is that books are, especially fiction books, you're supposed to sit back, you're supposed to read them and experience them. They are not necessarily to be looked at as a something to be.
Books are the whetstone of the mind. You're supposed to treat it with respect. That's all I'm saying.
I see. Awkward silence.
I know there is. Well, I have that. Don't annotate.
I like that she got all serious and just said, "I see."
I see.
Well, you know what that means.
She was busted by a teacher or something.
No, not busted by a teacher. Just saying, "I see." You can interpret it however you like.
I will.
You need to share your novel where you annotated when we go on to live stream.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll send you shots.
She will do that once.
Now, mister, this is my stream.
I was going to say
channel.
Yes, but you have no control about what happens after the stream.
Well, no, I don't. But during the stream, I do. So.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, is that a threat?
Yes, he's trying to threaten me. He's trying to be a savage Viking, but he's messing with a savage native. So we'll see how this goes.
I threaten people all the time.
That's true. He does.
He does. Yeah. All right.
I've actually beaten the Shadows of the Empire game.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I have the Dash Rendar story in my head, but there's not much of a story, to be honest. You just shoot stuff in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. I see 3 p.m. All right. Let me put this on here real quick so you guys can see that. Make sure I spelled it.
Also, we need to find 4 more books to put up on the voting list.
Oh, yeah. And we'll do that too as well.
We'll probably do that before Thursday, though.
Yes,
so
exactly.
People can start voting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Actually, we could probably do it today or tomorrow or something, because then we can announce the new book next week, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we can keep it up for a couple of days since we got the holidays and stuff like that. So, Teresa, I'm just going to get your opinion here so it can help us before we leave here. What novels would you want to see reviewed? We're looking more or less single novels, like standalone, like, there's Kenobi, there's, what else is there?
Well, we have the Darth Maul Shadow Hunter. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That's the one that I actually wouldn't mind, because I haven't read that, or the Revan one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So just getting ideas out there so that we can place them up for vote. And I do encourage everybody that's listening, and we still have 26. Thank you guys so much. I still encourage every single one of you guys, once it's voted on, to pick up that novel. And we do allow 4 to 6 weeks before we have the review so that people could sit down and read it. And I always recommend, no matter what, the Audible, especially if you're really, really busy and, you're still working and, you have the family life demands as well. Pick up the Audible and listen to it while you read, if you can read, have time to read, so that you're covering all bases of what we're going to talk about.
Someone suggested Rise of Darth Vader. Didn't we do that one?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We did that last month, I think. And
we've almost done Shadowhunter, but last time we had it on the thing, people voted for that fucking Death Troopers.
that we barely got through.
Yeah.
That was fun. Yes, it was fun, but yeah, I understand a lot that's why some people will disconnect from it. So someone said Labyrinth of Evil. We have the Shadow Hunter. So there's many of them that we can do. And if we do like a trilogy or a duology, then I would say it would be 6 weeks. If we do a single novel, it's 4 weeks. So that people can have time to read or catch up.
Yeah, and we always try to pick books from different time periods too.
Exactly. Try to think about like, Old Republic, prequel trilogy era, the classical era, which is the OT, and like then any post Return of the Jedi type era, which is I think there's 3 or 4 different little eras in there. So try to give you guys a variety so that we can skip through and go through different time frames as well. So
there we are.
Yeah, someone suggested Bane. I think we have done Bane though on a different book stream.
Yeah, I think Bane was on the EU one.
Yes, we did the whole trilogy. Though I love it. Oh my gosh. The first one, I almost see the first one as a standalone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one is good. I've read the second one as well.
Yeah.
And I'm a third through the third one. And the third one is like, so far, it's like Bane seems to be a side character in his own novel.
Yeah. Yeah, when it starts getting more into Zana.
Yeah, well, Zana and the other characters. Bane is.
Yeah, I think there was a purpose to that in a sense, and I would like to think that there's a purpose because, if we didn't have the buyout, just imagine maybe they would have done some novels with Zana and was it Darth Cognis?
There was absolutely supposed to be a Darth Zana duology.
Okay.
So I'm thinking the third Bane book is kind of like a transition. From Bane to Zana, showing the transition of power from practice becoming the master and all that.
Yeah, and we get more of like the Rule of Two kind of, new order kind of, I guess you could say. But because of the buyout, we're never going to see that. So it kind of leaves Darth Bane trilogy on a open, ended part of it because we don't get to go into the other trilogy. So.
Yeah. And some of the older trilogies aren't that thick. Like we could do the Brian Daly Han Solo trilogy.
Yeah. And I do have. It's not in here with me, damn it! But I did buy the trilogy under one book. So I did buy it all in one collection.
I'm actually getting that book because Revkev had duplicates of a couple of books, and he sent them to me, and one of them was that one.
Yeah.
And, which means I don't need my Han Solo's Revenge book. I have one of those. Okay. I was going to send it to you, Alora, and then the day after, you send me a picture of the Han Solo trilogy. Like, look what I got, and I'm like, okay, then.
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. It was there, and my daughter's like, "Isn't that what you want?" And I'm like, "Yes." And she goes, "There's all 3 of them in one," and I'm like, "Yes." So I just nerded out on it, and I snatched it up. I mean, there's no telling if they're going to.
You did nothing wrong, and there's a Lando book like that too.
Yes, there is.
I have that one.
Yeah. Yeah, so everybody throw out ideas. We'll have something out within the next couple of days to vote on when is going to be the next book for the literature review. And Teresa's always welcome to come and review these books, especially of course she reads them. She's very honest. Like I haven't had a chance to read that yet. And give her point because I just love having multiple voices. When it comes to these books here. And we're not going to say, well, how do you rate this and why? It's going to be getting into the novel. So there will be spoilers. That's why I encourage you guys to read. there will be spoilers, and
Oh,
there will also
Also,
be multiple viewpoints. Like I know Teresa does have her viewpoint on Shadows of the Empire. I've heard it already, so I'm excited to hear it again.
I think I'm gonna get ganged up on.
No. It's not about being ganged up upon, because I do understand some viewpoints that you had, and so I just can't wait to get over it. And then not only discussing why you like it, but also breaking down like different scenes inside the book.
For sure.
Yeah.
And also to all the people in the chat that are Star Wars fans and have a YouTube channel, whenever you read something Star Wars, why not just review it on your channel?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Review everything Star Wars that's EU, not Disney.
Yeah.
Unless you give it a bad review, then it's okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I have definitely taken what you said to heart, Steve. I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So we're coming to a close here. Thank you guys so much for being. We've been going for 2.5 hours with steady between 20 to 30 people, which I just, cherish for all of you guys. And thank you, Teresa, for coming on last minute. Sorry, that we didn't have Matt Wilkins here. I know he said he was available, but I also know it's Thanksgiving. So it's fine. If he could be here, he would be here. And so maybe next time. And again, December 3rd, like the banner says down there, the stream banner says Shadows of the Empire review December 3rd at 3 p.m. And I can't wait to break everything down. I just love this. I love this so much. Oh, and before we close, this is my new addition to my collection. Look at this.
I'm jealous as hell.
Yeah, the glare on there. Sorry.
I actually looked it up on eBay, and if I'm gonna buy it, with the import taxes and the shipping, it's gonna cost me $100, and that was the cheapest one.
Holy shit, that's a lot. Oh my god.
Yes.
Well, I mean, eventually you're gonna, if you really want it, you're gonna crack down on that, and that would be one of those kind of like self presents that where you gift yourself something. We always need to treat ourselves.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
we
gonna
can make arrangements. We can make arrangements.
Yeah, I was just gonna give you or Teresa money, and you guys can buy it over there and ship it.
Okay.
Like several times a month.
He's like, by the way, I have this. Can you get this for me?
You know what I'm gonna do? Just pay
we
pay some money at eBay link in the message. Here's $25. Buy this one and ship it.
Yeah. Suddenly, it's like, oh, I missed your message, Steve.
Yeah. Sorry, not milk for all the money.
Yeah. So, all right. So, everybody, if you're in the United States, happy Thanksgiving. It's about gratitude. It's about giving thanks. And right now we need that type of gratitude feeling within the universe with everything that 2020 has been throwing at us. So enjoy your time with your friends and your family, whoever you're having over or wherever you're going to. Travel safe and be well. And I'm forever grateful for everybody that comes in and listens to, the live streams, coffee chat, what have you, or even the lore videos I put out. This can't be possible without your guys' support. So thank you so much. Thank you, Steve, for being here. Go ahead and share your channel and what you have going on.
Yeah, just a little channel, but I do have a Thanksgiving video on it, which I put up 2 weeks ago or something, because I didn't know when Thanksgiving happened.
Yeah.
But there's a Thanksgiving video, and it's not fit for, safe for work at all.
Warning, don't do it at work.
No,
other than that, go watch Christie's channel on Saturday. Going to be on and talk about our top 10 movies of 2001.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
great
other than
year.
that, I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. And so, Miss Martin Muse, Teresa, please share where we can find you at.
Well, you can find me at Miss Martin Muses here on YouTube, where I discuss what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really, really ticks me off. You can also find me at Twitter, Teresa2_Martin.
Okay. Awesome. And thank you again, everyone. And for those who are members of my channel, thank you guys for popping in and the support as well. Yes, my channel has membership and every bit helps. It helps, pay for like little mics that are dearly needed and soon a repair for a laptop as well. So thank you guys so much. And even for the super chat and stickers, thank you guys as well. You guys are amazing. Again, enjoy family and friends, share what you're thankful for, have fun, laugh, enjoy. Know that gatherings and just talking with family and friends is healing to the soul, which helps boost the immune system, which we need to do in today's society with what's going on. So incorporate anything positive in your life will help boost that immune system. So again, thank you, you guys. You guys matter and you guys are awesome. Have a good day and may the force be with you.
Always.
Always.